fun stuff, sometimes bad stuff, the occasional comic book. And by occasional, I mean all the time comic book, almost. I am Sunny Starblast, and this is my co-host, King Crazy.
Bienvenido.
Welcome. Today we're going to talk about Godzilla versus Kong. We're going to share our opinions and probably complain a little bit.
I'm just surprised that they got a definitive winner.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't usually happen. It's like, oh, we'll team up around the end and we, the fans, start arguing. No, they had a definitive winner.
Of course. Because that's generally how it goes. Nowadays in movies. But in the original, there wasn't a definitive winner.
I think it was a tie.
Was it, though? Remember, like, Kong kind of got beat down a little bit, and then they, like, tossed him over with balloons.
He got struck by lightning and got stronger.
Yeah, that was
not supposed to happen.
That was a thing. Yeah, it was a thing.
Weird movie. It's a weird movie.
So, what are your feelings about it?
The old one or the new one?
The new one.
Okay, because the old one was just like, it was just fucked. But the new one, and except for the parts involving humans, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Like I like the fights. Like, there was, like, you could see how a lot of the time Kong didn't really want to be doing this, or at least for the first fight, because the drowning part,
right?
That wasn't fun. But and here's Godzilla going crazy for, as it turns out, a fairly justifiable reason. So, yeah, the people sucked, but the monsters were great.
Okay. So I tend to agree. It seemed like Kong was very iffy about fighting. Like, dude just wanted to chill. And everywhere he turned, somebody was starting with him, and he had to end it.
Yep.
And everybody kept messing with his little human friend.
The little deaf girl.
Yes. She was adorable, though, so I can understand he wanted to protect her. Cool. But at the same time, I don't know. I felt like her involvement in the movie was
not really
fine.
Necessary.
No. It was fine. The way they handled, I guess the person who was researching Kong was her mother or something. I don't know, her guardian.
Yeah.
But, like, she made a mention in the movie that she had spent 10 years on Skull Island, or whatever the island is called, studying Kong. And in these 10 years, she had never once been able to find out that he can use sign language and understand it. I feel like she should just retire. Like, no, seriously.
No, I didn't notice that. That's actually...
It's something that bugged me in the movie. Like, I get it. A lot of people want to turn their brains off and watch the action, but the action was so few and far between all of this human drama that I have to analyze it. And I'm sitting here like, this woman is apparently the head expert on Earth on Kong. But this 7-year-old little girl communicates with him daily. Nobody realizes that this giant ape can use sign language.
Yeah, I think it's that the kid using sign language on him. That part that is what the lady knew, but Kong being able to use sign language back was what was different for her.
Right. But that's an issue. Because if she's studying him, she should be able to know that he understands things. Because she explicitly mentioned to this girl while she was explaining that Kong is scared and angry, and they're like, "Oh, we're trying to help him," and she's like, "He doesn't trust you. He doesn't believe you," and she's like, "But he doesn't understand," and she's like, "Yes, he does," and she's like, "How would you know?" And she signs something at Kong, and Kong signs back home, and everybody flips out like, "Holy crap, he can understand us." Like,
even the dumb army lady was like, "What?"
Okay, that's someone I have a huge issue with. Like,
we all did.
Huge issue. That you're talking about the Atlas people's Apex people, yeah. The Apex people, the Apex CEO's daughter, right?
Yes. Her name is something.
I don't remember, and I don't care. I literally just watched the movie.
No one remembers. Nobody cares. She was there to do one thing, something stupid. Turns out the stupidity was blinding, because apparently the plan, let's outline their evil scheme. They're going to convince this lady to get them to the Hollow Earth, which is the subterranean whole world underground.
Hold on 1 second before you continue.
Yeah.
Welcome in, everybody. We're talking about Godzilla versus Kong, and thank you for stopping by and listening to us ramble. So yeah, Hollow Earth, something else I have an issue with, but go on.
Okay, well, also, since people are here, hello, ladies. Look at your man, now look at me. But you can't look at me, so listen to me. Anyway.
I'm mad that you actually did that, dude. But okay.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, so they want to go to the Hollow Earth. This lady goes along with it because they are saying that Kong is getting too big for Skull Island and the dome that they put around it. So they're going to take the opportunity to get him somewhere where he can actually roam around and all that. It was, and I'm trying to remember what they said to her that would explain these people with guns going with her. I feel like
it wasn't really clear. They were like, "Oh, they had that guy that she apparently knew to like convince her."
Yeah,
and he was like, he'll be safer and happier there in his natural habitat or some nonsense like that.
But she would logically be like, why do these people give a shit?
Oh, I think it's because Godzilla was attacking people. Because the movie started out with Godzilla attacking the Apex Corporation or whatever.
Yeah, and they were worried that Godzilla was going to go after Kong. But again, why did Apex give a shit? Kong. So again, whole conversation that should have happened, but part of it was missing.
Okay, so
unless I missed something,
you might have, but I might have missed it too because I wasn't interested in all of these humans talking.
Okay, but anyway, the idea is they're going to build a thing that can get these people into the Hollow Earth, and then Kong will have a whole new world to roam around, and Apex will go with them for reasons. So they get there in this crazy CGI mess of a scene, which is like, okay, yeah, this is possible. Sure, this whole ridiculous wormhole in Earth that'll get you to under Earth.
Right.
Screw it. So they do that, and then they're like, haha, we tricked you, and we're going to take this. We're going to take a sample of this thing that will allow us to mimic Godzilla's or something's energy signature so that they can replicate it on the surface. And it's like, wait, you came here to copy and paste something?
Okay,
And
so I'm going to explain that, but continue.
okay, so they do that in order to surprise, fully activate Mechagodzilla, the true main antagonist of this movie.
Right.
And the reason that they were doing all this was to get a viable power source, but instead of actually getting it, like taking it back, which, by the way, the like them coming back to the surface is a whole other thing in and of itself. But,
okay, yeah, we got to talk about that. I swear.
All right, we will get to that. So it's like they have this thing kind of sort of drill into the ground. So then I don't know, the Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah, what the heck was that?
I have no idea.
They went there for this power source, and all they did was like scan it for like 2.5 seconds, and then email it back to the office on Upper Earth.
Yeah, so they do that, and then everybody on the surface is like, "Haha, we got it!" And then let's see, deaf girl, other guy, and mom doctor are like, what are you doing? And it's like, again, why do you care what they're doing? This is an expedition. Like,
right.
Are they doing it for apparently nefarious schemes? Sure, but again, you're a scientist. Wouldn't you take samples? I mean, you
apparently
are literally
not.
It's like everything down there literally changes everything that they would likely know about the world that they live on, or the fact that the Hollow Earth exists at all.
Yeah, there's a lot about the Hollow Earth that I need to complain about. Maybe not complain so much as... No, it's complaining. I'm going to complain.
Right. So they... okay, this is where like my brain was still off. Because I'm like, okay, they are now holding a gun up to the head of the deaf girl who is clearly shown in the movie to be King Kong, just Kong's best friend and only, I guess, family you can call it.
Yep.
This pisses off Kong, who is literally like
right next to them. He's right next to them.
And they try to shoot him with their human-sized bullets as if that would do a goddamn thing. They run, and then Kong crushes the ship that they were on, and the girl's like, no, crush. And it's like, thank you. You died. You died the way you lived, like a dipshit. Yes.
Yeah.
So now, and this is where, okay, we're skipping ahead in the movie itself, but it's so absurd that you have to like point out now. They drill into some vein in the rock to scan for whatever, and Godzilla, who's on the surface, just knows, freaks out, blasts a hole into the ground from Japan straight down to where they are right then.
Two things. One, it was when Kong put the axe into the little crevice and it activated the radioactive stuff. Then Godzilla blasted the atomic breath through the earth for some reason. I was like, why? But okay.
And I'm like, and then it worked, and I'm like,
also,
okay,
it was in Hong Kong.
Right. And I'm sitting there like, this is Looney Tunes. This is Looney Tunes. This is oh, you dig down, you end up in China. It's like this is that.
Yeah.
But supposed to be a serious film.
I was very confused.
But whatever. They can just they can take a ship back and Kong can just jump in and bam, they're in Tokyo.
I was trying to figure out how they. It's Hong Kong, dude.
Sorry, Hong Kong.
They made sure not to have any of them in Japan in this movie. I'm pretty sure that because of the first fight in like the 60s or 70s or whatever, they were like, nope, we gotta do it somewhere different. Let's go to Hong Kong and let them destroy everything there.
Right.
But I think the issue with Kong just jumping up through the hole and them actually
down.
Yeah. First of all,
it's Looney Tunes. It's straight up Looney Tunes.
Another thing that bugs me is the way that they got to Hollow Earth, excuse me, was that they used some kind of warp thing. If they're warping the first time, why are they not warping the second time? Like, Kong just went in, but the humans, they used like a warp gate, and they pretty much gave us flashing lights to get there. That was very annoying and very stupid, but it gave me the impression that they were going at almost light speed to get to the center of the Earth.
Right. But if they didn't have the gravity, whatever, then their insides wouldn't be able to handle it, unlike Kong's.
Right.
Apparently.
Another thing about Hollow Earth. How is there light?
I have no idea. I have no goddamn idea.
There's something shining, and I'm like, what is this?
Is it the core of the Earth?
I was like, oh, maybe there's a sky. And then I look up at the top, and there's a ceiling of mountains and rocks.
And it's like, how could there be a sky? How is any of this?
And how come everything is walking on one side of the ground and the other side of the ground has nothing walking? You know, it's like goofy to me.
It's fucking Looney Tunes. All right, so I guess we'll just backtrack a bit because we trying to.
Yeah, because we went straight to the action.
Like the movie, we quantum leaped into nonsense.
Oof.
Yes, I went there. So apparently the whole thing starts with Godzilla just freaking out and attacking some city where this, let's be honest, he's a podcaster, just happens to be working for Apex, which is a company that does something, but also handles giant monster stuff. It's one of those companies that, okay, you exist to do this one thing. Once you've done that one thing, it's like you're done. And the one thing, and the one that happens to be, oh, well, thanks to the podcaster, we get all that juicy exposition where they're building something, and then Godzilla attacks, and then, well, the podcaster survives that somehow.
That's a problem I have with the movie. First of
plot
all,
armor. So much plot armor.
It's not just that. Okay. First of all, he records. He literally posts a podcast right before he does something mega illegal.
Yeah.
And says that he's gonna do something mega illegal. Right from the jump, I'm like, I can't turn my brain off for this movie. So he says, I'm about to go in and download all of this corporation's data on this one flash drive, which also bugged me, but whatever. I'm just going to roll with it. So he goes in, he works there, so it's cool. It's like in Florida, so I assume their security is lax anyway. No offense to any Floridians.
And
he
anyway,
so he goes in, he starts acting mega nervous, like he's super suspicious.
Suspicious as fuck.
Like he goes in and is like jumpy and acting weird and talking to like the security dude, and like the dude is like, is this guy on crack or something? Whatever. I'm just gonna leave my post with this stranger in here.
Yeah.
So the stranger downloads all the data, and then Godzilla starts to attack. He
As soon,
instead of
no, 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 no. As soon as security guards show up to question what the hell he's doing, then Godzilla attacks.
well, Godzilla was attacking and they were evacuating, and he took the opportunity to go the opposite way. And while these two people were not evacuating for some reason, they're like, "What are you doing here? Where's your clearance? Where's your clearance tag or whatever?" And he's like, "I can't believe you're asking me about clearance tags in an evacuation situation." Blah 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 blah. So they pull their guns, and at that moment, Godzilla fires atomic breath into those two guards and nowhere else. Just straight at them. They die.
Survives.
First of
How?
all, atomic breath, full of radiation. What's going on? Second of all, why? Like, he realizes that they're building something weird in there, and he sees the thing, and then I guess the girl from Stranger Things is like, "Oh no, Godzilla's on a rampage. Someone must have provoked him. He can't just do things of his own free will." Because Godzilla was a jerk in this movie. I'm going to be real. Godzilla was a jerk.
Oh yeah, from the trailer, and because they already just they basically told everybody, "Oh yeah, Mechagodzilla's in this." Everybody assumed that they were pulling what they did in the old movies. It's actually Mechagodzilla disguised as Godzilla. No, it's it's Godzilla the entire time.
Yep. Godzilla was just being a jerk the whole movie. And like,
yes.
And everybody's like, first of all, Stranger Things girl was like, I don't even remember her name. I think it's
Madison.
Yeah, Madison. Cool. Madison was all like, "Oh no, Godzilla's on a rampage. He's my friend." And I'm like, "Bro, that's a giant atomic lizard. You need to chill. You're like 15."
It's not Barney. It is not Barney.
I'm like, "You need to chill." And then she's like, "Hey, I'm going to get my friend from New Zealand to bring me his brother's van, and I'm going to drive it because it's my mission." And I'm like, first of all, you ain't going to tell your friend that you're driving his car to meet some strange man.
It's not even his.
Word. It's not even his. And she's like, "If I crash it, who's going to tell the difference?" I'm like, "Bro, it's not even his car. You can't do that." She was just, first of all, I remembered his name because his name is Josh, and everybody was mean to him. Everybody was mean to him the whole movie. And he's the one who saved the planet. And I'm saying it like that because Mechagodzilla was on a rampage. He was stomping the crap out of Godzilla. He done beat the crap out of King Kong. And they had to, okay, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Thank you for the juicy lurk, Ben. Hey, Nama. We talking about Godzilla. You guys are free to participate as much as you want. And yeah. But,
okay, so Stranger, you know what? Let's call her 11. So 11 goes to her dad, and she's like, "We have to do something." He's like, "Someone's turning Godzilla or doing something," and he's like, "Well, very much." He says exactly what you just said. He's a giant radioactive lizard. He's not your friend. What are you doing? Why aren't you in school? Several dad things. And she actually listens to the other dude's podcast and is like, "Hey, I need to find. I need to get involved somehow." And from the other Godzilla movies, Japanese dude Sarazawa.
yes.
There's a guy in here. Actually, the guy running Mechagodzilla. His name's Sarazawa.
I think that's like a reference to the.
Yeah, but it's a weird thing to just have in there because Sarazawa was a big part of the other two movies. Actually, a really important part of King of the Monsters. And here's this dude that also happens to just have his name.
Hey, maybe they're related. We'll never know.
Because he is super dead.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway.
I mean, like, okay. So, you go ahead.
We'll get there. Yeah, because this is where we run into other guy, and he has, and his brother was the one who was working. Well, he was working on the Hollow Earth theory.
Right, 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 right.
And his brother got killed going in there because the gravity shift just, I don't know, liquefied or turned him inside out. Like, I don't know. Just like weird stuff happened. And then the CEO of Apex and Sarah's and not Sarazawa are like, we need to get in there for reasons. And he's like, sure. So they go to what's her name? Dr. Lady and Deaf Girl. And Kong is also there. He's too big for the thing, and he's noticing that the dome is like, you know, there at all. It's like he just takes a tree and just throws it at it. He just like Kong just knows that something's wrong here.
Of course.
But they're like, no, we got to take Kong, get him to the Hollow Earth because he's too big for this place. Blah blah blah. We got to go. And they have like all these soldiers and all this stuff, and they're just like monitoring where Godzilla might be, just to make sure that they don't he doesn't go after Kong, which is exactly what Godzilla does for some reason. Like they don't really say why Godzilla is going after the other Titans. He's just doing things.
Yep. And humanity believes that Godzilla is their savior.
Well, not humanity. Like humanity, like there was a newscast and it's like, oh, Godzilla Titan savior no more.
And I'm like, yeah. At that point, they stopped believing in Godzilla, and I'm like, why would you believe in a giant atomic lizard?
Because he saved them from Ghidorah that one time.
That one time, but it also needed the help from the giant moth.
But then they were like, fuck the moth.
Yeah.
Fuck him. All right, so they have Godzilla chained to a boat, and then they find out, oh, Godzilla, okay, Kong can talk. He can sign language. So on. And actually, I think it's better if we kind of just ignore Stranger Things girl and her band of flunkies, because what do they even bring to the table? It's just
the only thing that they bring to the table is towards the end of the movie, and yeah,
the van, the travel.
The whole Mechagodzilla situation is kind of helped by them. Well, one of them, but anyway, we'll talk about that when we get to it.
There's not really much talking about with them. Anyway, so surprising no one, Godzilla's coming. Something bad's gonna happen, and Kong is still chained to the friggin' boat.
And the one thing that the evil lady said was, "Yo, let Kong go." And they're like, how about we throw you overboard? And I'm like, bro, that's kind of like chill.
I mean, okay, Army Lady was being rude about it.
She was, because she kept calling him a monkey. And clearly Kong is not a monkey. He does not have a tail. He is an ape. But that's semantics.
But at the same time, she wasn't wrong. Like, yeah, we let him loose. We need him.
Like, to be fair, the water is Godzilla's, I guess, domain, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how Godzilla is able to breathe underwater.
He must have some like amphibious qualities. It's one of those things. It's like, don't question it. It's just how it is. Godzilla can just be underwater.
Godzilla chills underwater, but Kong can't chill underwater for more than 5 seconds. I'm going overboard. It's like 5 minutes under the water, but you know.
Yeah, actually, 5 minutes is overboard. Like it's, I'm sitting there like Kong's lasting a real long time, surprisingly enough. But yeah, the army attacks Godzilla. Godzilla flips over the boat that Kong is on, So now Kong is chained underwater, and they're like, okay, we have to let him, or we have to let him go, or else we are really all going to die. So, other guy lets him out, and boat gets flipped over, and
Oh, someone in the chat asked, isn't Godzilla part reptile? There are a lot of aquatic reptiles. While
right,
that's true, we don't know what kind of reptile Godzilla is. It's just radioactive lizard.
like you can just
So,
last a ridiculously long time underwater. It it might be like an Aquaman thing. Like Godzilla might have gills somewhere, or the gills are up its nose. We don't know because they're damn sure not gonna like grab him, hold him down, and start dissecting him. He
yeah,
wouldn't allow
no,
that.
they, they wouldn't be able to. Look,
And even if they tried, he could just sense them somehow.
yeah, Godzilla has mystical sensing abilities now, so what do?
Yeah,
But
like
yes, the fight in the water where they basically just killed a bunch of people on ships. Like,
so. But then they get the chains off of Kong, and oh yeah, the army's being as useful as they always are in these situations, because of course. But yeah, we get our big ridiculous fight, round one, as they call it.
a teaser fight. That was a teaser fight. I was waiting for some good action, and basically they were just killing people on boats. Godzilla was like, I'm gonna just go through all these ships to uppercut Kong and drown him. Kong was really, I mean, not Kong. Godzilla was really cheeky in this movie. Like, it was bugging me a lot with their fights, just the way that Godzilla was acting. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
like
skip forward slightly just for one point. Godzilla hits Kong with an atomic breath. Like, it hits him and he falls. And then Godzilla gives this cheeky grin to the camera, and I'm like, bro, what? I don't know. It just felt like,
like it's like Godzilla was a sadist.
yeah,
He was just loved. It's like everyone was sitting there like he's just carving up Kong, and even I was like it's like it's like stop, he's already dead.
but yeah. So back to the water fight.
Yeah, where
Fine.
it was like Godzilla's straight up drowning Kong. It's like it's like oh yeah, it's like I still don't get where like Mechagodzilla's you know, whatever has to do with any of the other Titans, because Godzilla's straight up just trying to murder Kong for some reason.
They kind of explain it by saying that there can only be one alpha, and it's okay, but at the same time, it's meh.
Right, and then everybody just plays dead just to keep Godzilla from murdering all of them, which is not incorrect because 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 Godzilla would have straight up killed all of them.
That's very true. Godzilla didn't care. For some reason, just felt like killing everything in the area.
Right, and skipping ahead, the the Stranger Things gang get into a base and they get onto some sort of train that'll take them in minutes all the way to Tokyo, Hong
Hong
Kong.
Kong,
God damn it! Why do you keep doing that?
because that's what you expect it to be, because it's Godzilla.
Yeah, from Hong Kong to Hong Kong from somewhere.
Florida. They walked into the wrecked place that Godzilla destroyed at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
and they managed to find like something like a tram that just zapped them to Hong Kong in a matter of 5 minutes, which is
Like they were
cool.
going they're going like 600 miles per hour or more. It's like, sure. At this point, screw it. And we get the classic Kong's in a net carried by helicopter somehow scene.
Because they wanted to get him to the Hollow Earth portal thing,
Why didn't you do this in the first place then?
right?
It's like they risked their lives on those boats.
They risked and lost many lives on those boats. But they were like, oh, well, how are we going to get there now? If we move, Godzilla is just going to come back and kill everybody again. How much can your helicopters lift? And then they're flying there.
But actually, here's the thing. So they already have like a facility there to monitor the gate or whatever. But no, never mind, because they needed Kong to actually find where it is. Because
they wanted him to go there himself, basically.
No. It's like no. Well, yeah, they wanted him to go there, and they wanted to follow him because he would actually know how to get there somehow because of his ancestors, and how they'll just like animal senses, like they'll just know. I guess.
But he still didn't go into the cave, and they still had to use the little girl to make him go. And even that didn't work, so they had to make her lie to make him go into the portal. And they're like, just tell him that there might be more like him there.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't a total lie. There might have been.
There might have been, and he did manage to find his own heritage, so to speak. But at the same time, it was like, well, nothing's working. Lie to him. And the girl's like, there might be more like you there. You might find family. And Kong's like, family? That's the magic word. And he just runs off into the hole. And I'm like, okay.
And everyone's like, all right, then, into the pods. And then they jump into these crazy sci-fi whatevers. And they're going to follow him. Them and all these people with the guns. Because, sure.
Oh,
again,
Ghost Shell brought something up
yep.
in reference to the helicopters. They said, I think it's because of how unpredictable Kong is. They didn't want to fly him because they needed him in chains. They were only able to transport him via the net because the little girl communicated and calmed him down. Correct. At that point, they were very afraid of what Kong could do, and they didn't know that Kong could communicate with the girl or that he could understand her. So that does make sense, which still bugs me that this woman who's been studying Kong for 10 years did not know that he could communicate or understand any kind of human language. She didn't think that he had the capacity to learn. You're studying him. You're supposed to be the leading expert in Kongology, whatever it is. She noticed that the girl was talking to him, but she didn't know that he could communicate back. So it was an issue.
Yeah. And I don't know, because they had him tranked for the boat ride.
Right. They dropped him.
And he was knocked out because of the fight for the helicopter ride. Like he stayed down that long somehow. So I don't know. It's like it would have made sense that if they tranked him for the whole ride to the Arctic base, but whatever, doesn't matter because we are at because this is like the midpoint of the movie, and we gotta crank it up. So they have this whole ridiculous underground network of stuff, and then a wormhole, and they jump in. It looks like they're time traveling or something. Like it gets real, like dubstep. in this
It was
moment.
just a lot of flashing lights, and to be honest, it's bad for people who might have epilepsy.
Put any dub track any dubstep track over this, it will make perfect sense. Too much sense.
It probably wouldn't make any sense with just music and the scene, but okay. But anyway, it was a thing. They used the technology to. It was explained to be a means of pushing them a certain amount of it was, how do I explain it? It was a means of getting them there in a short amount of time, and also without like destroying their organs through the gravity.
Right.
So, okay. But on the other end, they still left it without doing any of that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
So Kong gets in. They explore.
He brutally murders a bunch of things that try to attack him and eats one of their heads.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because, like, did the trip make him hungry? Because he just jumped down and went in hot. These things started attacking the people, and he's like, nope. Smash, smash, rips your head off, eats the entrails or brains or whatever's coming out of its head. And the evil lady's like, that's kind of gross, though. And I'm like, I agree with you for once. And, like, also, I want to talk about the evil lady. I don't remember her name, but she's the evil lady.
Evil lady, that's really all she is.
And
her men held a gun to a deaf girl's head.
For no reason. Like, she's like, stop them. And I'm like, stop them from what? She's like 7 with a doll that can't do anything. She's literally the morality pet of this giant ape who is 2 feet away from you, watching you tell them to put guns on him. So they pull the guns on him, and you anger him. So he roars and scares the crap out of everything in there, including the little birdie creatures that fly from the ceiling and attack everybody. Thanks. You caused this. You caused this chaos.
Yep.
And now they're trying to get away. And what do? The dumbest thing imaginable. Get him out of the way. I don't care how you do it. Shoot him. They shoot little peas at the giant.
Him.
Right? Fly around him and get away. He'll be like, okay, they're just trying to get away. He won't see who's in the thing. But nope. They have to be stupid, attack him, so he can grab them and smush them. The end for that lady. And her father, the other evil person, they were obviously evil, first of all.
Not so much evil, just dumb. Just genuinely dumb.
Dumb and evil are not mutually exclusive, especially in movies. These guys were dumb and evil. He
monologued. He actually monologued.
Yeah, he did it while Mechagodzilla was activating and going haywire. And the people are backing up. And I guess he assumed that he was just that intimidating. But, like, he reminds me of that one pimp from Kill Bill towards the end. And I'm like, okay. No, he reminds me of the Dos Equis guy. The most interesting man in the world.
Oh God, he's nothing like him.
He's not interesting, but he just gives me those vibes. Like I expected him to say, "Stay thirsty, my friends," before he died, but he didn't, which is fine because he was a trash villain.
Yeah, and we'll actually get to that in a moment, but the big reveal that Mechagodzilla's even there at all. Which, by the way, they were okay. So, how they name things? It's like a Robot Godzilla, and this other kid's like, no, it's a Mechagodzilla. And I'm like,
yeah, that bugged me. That
is that one kid's contribution to this whole movie.
It's not his one contribution though. He's literally the only person who does anything of value among the Stranger Things gang. That's what I'm calling them now. That's what we're calling them. They're Stranger Things gang. Like Millie Bobby Brown is talking about how Godzilla's her best friend, and you know the
didn't he kill your brother?
The podcaster is like, this is a conspiracy, and I'm gonna drink my liquor until I die. And I'm like, okay, buddy.
Because of his dead wife, and the other kid's just like, I just want to go home.
Yeah, he's like, I just want to go home. I didn't expect to be in Hong Kong of all places. I'm 17. I'm in high school.
Like he's out here battling giant monsters. Like he shouldn't be here. And I'm like, okay, look, Millie Bobby Brown is, I don't know, cute for, I guess, teenagers, but dude, you could do better. You were in Deadpool. You could do so much better.
One, not even going there. Two, I don't even think it's like that. I just think that they're friends, and
what other reason could there be for a teenage boy, to go this far? This far?
He didn't go that far, though. He didn't go that far. First of all, every step of the way, he was trying to back out, and something would stop him from backing out. Look at it this way. If I try to walk through a door and the door closes on me, I guess I gotta go the other way with these two dumb bozos.
Okay, fine. Let's apply like real world stuff into this. All right, Sonny, under what circumstance would you let this random girl who you know is gonna get you into trouble? At what point would you let this girl have your family member's car to drive?
One, I would never go anywhere with anybody else's car. Two, I'm thinking with my older person brain and not a 17-year-old brain. Three, if a friend needed me to give them a ride somewhere, I would probably do it. I wouldn't go like interstate or anything, but they were already in Florida, I believe. So I think they just went like to another city in Florida.
To an area that must have been cordoned off by the police.
I mean,
because a giant monster attack there.
First of all, it should have been a radioactive zone.
Yes.
Godzilla was spraying that stuff everywhere, so that whole area should be radioactive, and nobody should be able to go within 200 feet, 200 miles.
It should be the new Chernobyl. Several places around the world should be like new Chernobyl.
But you know, we're gonna ignore that and say, hey, this is something that he's probably bored and just wants to like chill with his friend and see what's going on with whatever happened with Godzilla. Because hey, that's exciting. Maybe he has no self-preservation, whatever. But
I'm pretty sure he does. I think he shows up as self-preservation a lot during the movie.
He does to a degree, but at the point where they insulted him multiple times. First of all, the adult insulting a child is something that's weird. But anyway, they're like, oh, he's probably, you know, they were really weird conspiracy theorists. I just gotta say that. They're like, we don't drink tap water because the fluoride makes you more susceptible to manipulation.
Something
and then No. He showered in bleach, which doesn't make any kind of sense because bleach will burn. But it's possible. Whatever.
He should not be that black if he's showering in bleach.
I mean, I guess. But the thing that bugs me is that they're talking about fluoride makes you prone to manipulation, so you'll be manipulated more easily. Then they proceed to manipulate him into going with them, and he just goes with them. And like, I don't know, it's just weird the way that they insult him and neg him into going with them, and then treat him like he's a burden, even though a lot of the reason why you're all in the situations that you're in are because he decided to come along. And then the guy who's supposedly an engineer, excuse me, he's supposedly an engineer and he's yelling at a high school kid to do computer stuff. like he's that one kid from he's Genki from Spider-Man Miles Morales. Like,
It's
come on.
dumb, but you know what? We are okay. We went way off track talking about this one kid.
It's not off track. It's part of the movie, and this is a podcast. We can talk about whatever.
Yeah. But I guess like where we left off is that they they went on the Hollow Earth and King Kong finds the axe made out of Godzilla. Well, Godzilla's dorsal fin,
Yes.
and there's a throne. He sits on it for some reason, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Sure. It's like it was a weird trip getting there. Let him sit down. Screw it.
I mean, that's his throne. It seemed like all of the little bird creatures in there were like afraid of him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he noticed that there's like a small engraved area where he could place the axe. So he's like, I wonder what I'm going to do. Guess I'll just place the axe in there. Activates all the radioactive stuff around him. First of all, if he's able to be around that kind of radiation, he should be able to take an atomic breath. But nevertheless,
it was nuclear. It was fire. It was nuclear fire.
I don't care. Anyway, he places it in. Godzilla's radiation senses start tingling, and he just blasts into the ground. And it somehow manages to get right there where they are standing. I don't know how this happened, but whatever. To be fair, I guess that would make some sort of sense if if Kong were like at the very center of the Earth. Like
it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Because, it makes again, some sense based on
all right, so Godzilla shoots his whatever straight down, and it just happens to be exactly where everyone else is.
Yep. It makes perfect sense because it's a movie. And I was supposed to turn my brain off for it.
Not even remotely an answer. But whatever. Anyway, the Stranger Things gang, at around the same time, find that from the last movie, the Ghidorah head.
Yes, the Atlas Corporation or Apex Corp. I don't care. I guess Atlas is in my head from Borderlands. I don't care. The corporation, the evil guys, whoever they are, the humans, have harvested a skull from King Ghidorah. And they are using it as a supercomputer.
Yes, because and this is where we have to like really dig into nonsense science, because apparently the heads of Ghidorah were so long that they had to get the information from body parts to wherever. They had telepathy. So other Serizawa uses this machine as like a cockpit or whatever to telepathically control Mechagodzilla.
Oh, we got a raid. Thanks, Leah, for the raid. Yes, we got raided.
We got raided?
Just now. We just got a raid.
With 10 people? Damn.
Hey, Leah.
Something funny.
Introduce yourself. Just introduce yourself.
I don't know how. I'm nervous. My anxiety.
Okay.
I'm having a heart attack.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the raid. I am... oh, shoot. I forgot my name. I am... I am Sunny Starblast, and we are variety streamers. This is King Crazy. We're hosting a podcast right now. We're talking about Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong. Who cares what the name of the movie is? They're big old monsters, and they fight, and they barely fought.
So dumb in that movie.
And thank you, Leah, for that, and welcome in Raiders, and let us continue.
Feel free to join if you've also seen the movie, because
if you've seen the movie, we'd love to hear your opinions. We had someone earlier giving opinions, but I don't know if they're still there.
We are reaching peak nonsense because, again, and this is a huge spoiler for all you new folk. They're using King Ghidorah's remains to power Mechagodzilla. And immediately, everyone watching this movie would be like, yeah, I think I know where this is going. But screw it. So, around the same time, we got the axe, which is now going to be charged up, which
Right.
thankfully for the, which by the way, Dr. Lady goes ahead and expositions that part
Yep.
because she knows
She
this.
somehow knows that it's a charging port for the axe. I don't know how she knew because I didn't know crap. I thought it was a key to unlock something because I play a lot of video games. Nope. It's a charging station. It charged the axe to 100% battery.
Yes, which makes Godzilla freak the hell out because I don't know the audacity.
Oh no, you're using my ancestors' remains so you can come and fight me? Nah,
I'm
I'm gonna
I'm
blow
gonna fire
you
my
up.
laser straight down into the ground to kill you because you happen to be there. You son of a bitch. It's like, okay. But then the bad guys just go ahead and drill a hole into the ground to take some sort of sample, which scientist lady has a problem with for some reason. And then they all have them at gunpoint, but through the Wi-Fi, I guess, the bad guys send the information back to the headquarters, and now they have the ability now to fully
Reverse
power Mecha.
engineer it. They reverse engineered whatever that was and
After
managed to power it.
after getting it somehow.
I'm like, this is supposed to take place in 2021. What kind of technology are they having that they can recreate energy? And I'm like,
How do they even transmit it? Like this makes no sense, but whatever. Then oh yeah, then the place goes crazy because Godzilla is now with his sonic breath drilling a hole into the ground and whatever. The signal somehow goes through. They get the thing. Everybody's trying to get out of there, and um,
chaos happens. Literally chaos.
basically,
The bird things start attacking people. Um, little King Kong's little friend is about to get eaten by one of those little bird things. Then Godzilla's breath just manages to break through the ground and cause
oh,
everything to fly away.
other Sarazawa was like, "Look, this robot thing is not ready yet," and but bad guys like, "Nah, homie, activate it, engage." Number two, and it's like, oh, fuck, great.
First of all, I Mecha Godzilla was cool. It was a nice little.
Oh, that reminds me, the skull crawlers from Skull Island. Like it's like as a test, they have them just grab one and just laser right through it.
I'm like, why would you do that? Why don't you just like see the regular battle capabilities rather than going 100% immediately?
I think that was the regular battle capability. I think that was the point. Mechagodzilla is here and he's scary motherfuckers. That's like that was the point of the scene.
Yeah, but he powered down immediately after because he couldn't reach full capacity
Yeah,
until they managed to get the stuff going. But whatever.
because now
So
he's at like full power, but then things go wrong, as they do. But meanwhile, the bad guy's monologue because he's just so damn smart. Look
and
at me and
evil.
my genius plan. I'm going to take back the world for the humans. Blah blah blah. Why is
Basically,
everybody
he's
backing
Lex
away?
Luthor. He's
He
not
is
even.
not Lex Luthor. He's not
No,
even
basically,
close.
he's monologuing like Lex Luthor. I'm doing this for humanity. That's basically what Lex Luthor is like. He doesn't want the humans to depend on a creature that is not human. Like,
Yeah,
if
well,
you think about it, he's like, I'm tired of all these Titans. We need something that can protect us. And I mean, his
whether
ideas are noble, but at the same time, y'all had Kong who wasn't trying to hurt anybody, and y'all just used him.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure, and the way he acted, I doubt it was really that altruistic as he wants to do it for the people. Like I highly doubt it. But anyway, stuff happens. Evil lady gets killed. Kong grabs the axe, and they're about to ride to the surface. And yeah, Godzilla just happens to blow a hole that conveniently gets them there, so that they could, end the movie.
Right.
So they get out, and it is now round two.
Oh boy, this is the part that I've been waiting for. I was like, oh man, this movie has been going on for an hour and 22 minutes and 30 seconds. Yes, I counted the time.
Okay, so you want to tell me what happens?
Yeah, so Kong comes out. He's like, I got my axe. I'm ready to go. He starts swinging. Godzilla's like, ha, ha, you whack. King Kong manages to get his axe like buried in a building for some reason. I feel bad for all of those people who were in that building, but whatever. They're fighting. Kong is like dodging and jumping on buildings, and he grabs a piece of a building to block some of the atomic breath and tosses it, but it doesn't really do much. And the fight is actually pretty interesting. Like, it keeps me somewhat glued to the screen. So I'm watching as all of a sudden Godzilla starts to get the upper hand. Hits him with that atomic breath. Ouch. Dislocates Kong's shoulder. Ouch.
No, actually, there was the part where Kong shoves the hilt of the axe down Godzilla's throat to stop his atomic breath.
Yes, that was
and
cool.
Was like, yeah,
I mean, it was cool. They like the way you see Kong fight in comparison to Godzilla. Godzilla literally is using lizard brain, and Kong is like fighting like a primate. Like, you would see something that knows how to use tools and basically dodges and blocks and uses his tools properly. Godzilla doesn't have long enough arms to be able to use tools in the same way. Want to become famous? Yes, I do want to become famous. Let us both be famous. But unfortunately, I think I have to ban you.
I hate those.
Yeah, me too. Never mind.
Spammers everywhere.
Bren did it. Thanks, Bren. You're like the best mod. One of the best mods. I don't want to like alienate the other mods, but whatever.
There are other mods.
Yeah, you're one of them.
I am learning so much on this channel today. We have raiders, we have mods. I'm a mod.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so I forgot what I was gonna say. Right, the fight. Kong and Godzilla throw down. Then Kong, like, I see Kong doing things that I would see like in a street fight. He drops. I'm not Kong. I mean Godzilla. Godzilla like drops Kong and then like is about to head stomp him. I'm like, bro, that's mad street. What are you doing?
He's trying to win.
I know he's trying to win, but at the same time, Godzilla has been the aggressor the whole time. And Kong was like, I am tired of you bullying me. And like they fight and Kong gets wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. Like, he's
actually not yet. Because in round two, there were let's see, in round two, Kong jumps in the air, has the axe. Godzilla tries to laser him, but the laser gets absorbed into the axe and it just detonates on contact with Godzilla, and that's Kong winning round two.
I feel like that's not fine. I feel like they just
that's what other guy said.
What other?
Oh, the guy who...
Oh, yeah, other guy. I was like, who is other guy?
Other guy is the other guy.
Right. I don't even remember his name. That researcher dude.
No one remembers his name.
I don't remember any of the humans' names except for Gia. Gia's the little deaf girl. Or is it Mia? No, it's Gia.
She's been in 2 movies.
Huh?
Oh, Madison, because she was in 2 movies by now.
You mean 11?
Yes, and I didn't remember the girl's name, but yeah. Oh, that reminds me. The main bad guy was trying to tell 11 Oh, I knew of your mom. You see, we're not so different, you and I. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Bad guy monologue.
yep. But whatever, because then Godzilla gets up, and then we get round three. Then the stomp, the slashing,
It
like
was.
it
I
curb
consider
stop.
the
It was a
whole
curb.
thing. I consider the whole thing round two, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So, of course, uh, Kong gets wrecked. Like I don't know what Godzilla was on, but he got up and he just wrecked Kong. I thought he
Yes.
broke his arm. No, his shoulder was dislocated, and I was like, "Bro, are you serious?"
Yes.
And like he got beat down to the verge of death, like he was gonna die. And then other guy was like, we have to like really
Use
juice
the
him up.
ship.
And
Use the ship.
apparently the ship is so powerful that it can power all of Vegas for a week.
Right. Actually, here's the thing. He never drove that ship before, but he can
Right.
just go ahead and just turn it into
A
a defibrillator.
defibrillator. Right. Okay, here's something that bugs me. You brought it up. He never flew the ship before. It was always the Apex people who were flying the ships. So
Right.
when all the Apex people were dead and they needed to get out of there, all of a sudden he knew how to fly the ship. And he flew it out from Middle Earth, I mean Hollow Earth, whatever, and managed to get up to Hong Kong and do all of this other stuff. He managed to fly around Kong's face and not go into his mouth. They flew around the atomic breath and past Godzilla's body.
Without
And
getting cancer.
yeah, that too. And then boom, they land it. They're good, safe landing. Then Kong fights Godzilla, gets wrecked. Then he's like, I'm gonna go fly it onto Kong's chest, and he calls the little girl a coward in sign language, and she says, "No, you." And he goes and flies it onto Kong's chest and lets it
That was a bit of an
defibrillate.
inside joke for those of you who do not know,
Right.
because she called him a coward in sign language, but he didn't know sign language
And the mother was like, "Oh, she's just saying you're very brave," and he thought that he was calling her brave, but
by calling her a coward.
yeah. So he tells her as a callback to that she's very brave, thinking. Well, he says that she's a coward, thinking that he's calling her very brave, and she's like, "Ha ha ha! No, you." And that's probably
That
the
was like the
funniest
one
moment in the
funny
movie.
part.
Yeah.
But now here's where the fun ends, because now they have this energy source that they got there for some reason. Now Mechagodzilla is starting to override things and starting to get up on its own. Everyone's backing away, but meanwhile, bad guy's monologuing, and then he's like, "Wait, what are you all doing?" Turns around, says, "Oh shit," and then he gets killed. While other Sarazawa gets electrocuted by his own computer,
which is
and
which is King Ghidorah's head skull thing.
yes, and thus King Ghidorah, or at least the left head, is alive again, which is
Oh,
why
is that
Godzilla.
why it was happening like that? Okay. So basically
Yes,
the left head was basically controlling Mecha Godzilla. That makes a lot more sense.
yes, and well, it's able to take over now because now it has the power to sustain itself. So, and this is why Godzilla was freaking out this whole time, because the humans were starting to were rebuilding his arch nemesis again.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't like
Ghidorah
the
knows what
left
it.
head the most violent one too?
Yes,
Oh
like
boy.
if you recall if you recall King of the Monsters, this was the head that was toying with dead bodies.
Right.
We thought it was childish. It's actually much worse than that. So, and this was the head that got torn off during the fight in Mexico.
Okay.
That showed up in the after credits stinger of King of the Monsters with dude from the hell was that movie show Game of Thrones.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry, he's not back here. He means nothing. Don't worry about it. And yeah, now Mechagodzilla has fully arisen, even though it's Ghidorah. So
He's the
technically,
Mecha
it's
Ghidorahzilla.
yes, and yeah, it is kicking Godzilla's ass. It's bad.
Like if you what you saw when if you saw it and you saw that part where Kong was getting wrecked all over the place, this is like 10 times that. Godzilla was getting stomped, tossed around, flipped
They got into a beam duel, and Mechagodzilla won easy.
because it was clear that Kamehameha was going to lose to the Gallic Gun that time.
Yeah, but and of course everybody else is just like everybody's arriving. Madison's dad is there with Lance Reddick of all people, who's in this movie for honestly
Two
like less than
seconds,
10 seconds.
like
And I'm
two
like,
seconds for
what?
real.
I'm like, sir, why are you here? You're so much better than this. Why are you here? Why are you this? What is this? But whatever. Then you have everybody showing up, and they're all unanimously saying, "What the fuck is that?" They have no context at all. But whatever. Metal Monster is gonna kill Godzilla, and because you see it attacking, just everything. Okay, yeah, this is a problem. We have to stop this thing. But Deaf Girl can feel the ground and feel that Kong's heart is slowing down because he's dying. Other guy defibrillates him. Meanwhile, Godzilla's getting fucked up. It's terrible. Mechagodzilla is beating his ass like Godzilla owes him money. It's terrible.
It was savage. Like he
was melting half of Godzilla's body with his breath. It was terrible.
like Godzilla kind of deserved it. He was acting like a bully the whole movie, and Mecha Godzilla was the bully hunter. But
yes,
at the same time,
he's
as this is
stronger,
going on,
faster.
I don't know about faster, but he's stronger.
No, dude, he was fast. Like he was using rockets to propel. Like he is stronger, faster, bigger, badder. He's like he's everything about Godzilla, but more. It's like it was insane what Godzilla had to deal with this guy. Godzilla had nothing on him.
And then Kong gets up and is like, "Oh man, what happened?" His arm is still dislocated, so he goes to a building and clicks it back into place. And I'm like, "Oh snap! It's that one thing that Mel Gibson did in Lethal Weapon 4."
And then Death Girl's like, "You gotta help him."
And like, that's not your enemy no more. That's your enemy now.
And Kong's like, "Fuck."
So he's looking for an opening, and he's like, "Wait a minute, what if I get my axe?" And he gets his axe, and while this is going on, Mechagodzilla is wrecking Godzilla. He's like basically holding Godzilla down with a foot. So Kong.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me. He's about to use Godzilla's finishing move when he grabs them and just lasers into their mouths.
Right. And then Kong is like, I guess I gotta save this jerk now, and boom, hits him with the axe. That's it. And they start fighting. And then Kong gets the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah, because Mechagodzilla is no fucking joke.
If he couldn't beat Godzilla and he was about to die, Mechagodzilla is about to just tear him a new butthole, like for real.
He has rockets. He has rockets coming out of every orifice, and rocket punch. Like if you saw Pacific Rim, and you wanted that versus Godzilla, this is it. This is happening, and. Let's see. And the drill tail.
Yes,
that's that too. But then, I don't know how to describe this. Screw it. Stranger Things kid, but not him. Screw it. Deadpool kid. He grabs this dude's beer that's symbolic of his wife or something, pours it into the server for Mechagodzilla, which temporarily distracts him. And then Godzilla.
It doesn't distract him. It like disables him for like 2 seconds. And it gives Godzilla the opportunity to form the best team up in history, which he didn't really do much of anything but fire an atomic breath at the axe.
Which now charges it up, and then Kong just starts going ham on Mechagodzilla. And then
slicing through him like absolute butter. He is literally a hot knife in butter. because I don't know what that juice was that was flying out of him. It must have been oil or something, but it was flying out of Mechagodzilla like water.
You have Americans like, that's where our oil went. Those bastards.
Yeah, yeah. But
Anyway,
so so with that fight over, Kong is absolutely exhausted. He just died, came back to life.
worst day ever.
Like the whole did this whole movie happen in a day? Because I feel like it did. He got beat down by a lizard, almost drowned, got pushed into a hole, had to fight two other monsters, and then he found his family heritage, found an axe, a family heirloom axe, put it in the ground, charged it up, got attacked by the lizard once more with the atomic breath blowing everything up, climbed out of the hole into China, attacks him.
I want to say this happens over a weekend.
I want to say that too, but at the same time, I'm just going to say it happened over the course of the day because that makes it sound more dramatic.
Honestly, let's see. It was either sunrise or dusk when the movie ends. So honestly, it's possible that this all happened in under 24 hours.
It's possible,
which is batshit insane. But surprise, Godzilla gets up again.
And Godzilla gets up, and Kong is like, "No, I'm too old for this."
And he's like, "Fine, you want to do this? You want to do this, you son of a bitch? I didn't hear no bell, you motherfucker."
He picks up the axe, and Godzilla's like, "Yo, bro, just drop your axe. Look."
He's like, "Fine,
we beat this guy this one time." He's like, "We beat this guy this one time, and I guess you saved my life, so we good for this. But if I see you on the streets again, it's going down. So I'm walking away right now.
I'm the bigger man."
Yeah, Godzilla's a jerk. Godzilla's an absolute jerk the whole movie. Like, Godzilla's straight up bullying him. Like, he's like, "I already killed you, so we good, but you saved my life. So I guess you do your thing, I'll do my thing, and don't let us cross paths."
I'll take the moral high ground and walk away, thus making me your moral and physical superior. Bitch, peace.
Basically, and Kong is like, "All right, whatever,
asshole."
And he just goes and chills back down in Under Earth, whatever his place is called,
Hollow Earth.
Like, I just don't understand why it's called the Hollow Earth. I get that technically.
Well, it's not called the Hollow Earth. It's like the Earth is hollow, and they just call it that because there's a whole subterranean world where a giant ape can just swing around freely because there's just so much room, and he can just exist there forever. I mean, for all we know, it's so big that there might be other Kongs down there. For all we know,
it's possible, but it seems like there is a territory for Kongs. Like,
right,
there's a throne, there's a handprint that like gets him in there or whatever. Like, there's a whole area that's basically their domain, and it seems like it's been evacuated for a while, like vacant for a while. So there could be other Kongs on another side, but chances are there aren't. Maybe the last ones were his parents, and they were on Skull Island, and they died. But who knows? All I know is that Kong is the king of that domain, and Godzilla is chilling. But the next movie is Godzilla versus Godzuki. Let's go. 2023.
Probably. But that's actually the weird thing about this movie. Well, the last weird thing. There isn't like any sort of ending stinger or something that could like set up another movie. Like, if they wanted to, they could just end the MonsterVerse right here.
Yeah,
because they've wrapped they wrapped up every loose end.
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing that they really could do, but it'd be weird because it's so late. In King of the Monsters, they had the Oxygen Destroyer that hit Godzilla and Ghidorah, and Oxygen Destroyer is how what's it called? Destroya gets created.
Right.
So they could it's all set up to like Destroya could show up It'd be weird 2 movies later, but they could do it.
They could do it, but they. Okay, so here's the thing that I kind of think might happen. That should happen. That I want to happen. Maybe it shouldn't happen, but I want it to happen. Maybe Godzilla has like a little Godzilla egg, and there's another Rodan like creature that takes care of that egg, and it turns out
Um,
to be baby Godzilla.
Hold on 1 second. Thank you for following Disorderly Night Creature.
Oh, that name seems familiar. Thank you, Disorderly Night Creature.
Yeah, but if anything, to build off of your idea, like here's a wacky thought. There is indeed a Godzilla egg,
Hmm.
but then whatever race that spawned Ghidorah, something of theirs comes down to cause trouble, and and whatever kaiju are there, like let's say Godzilla, let's say Kong, whoever, they manage to kill it. And this could be like middle of the movie or end of the movie to set up another movie, whatever. But then the space stuff gets onto the egg, and it actually grows to become Space Godzilla. Godzilla's son, but also merged with some part of Ghidorah putting onto him, something added or copied or something.
Hmm.
It's utter nonsense, but
I would
yeah,
like it, but I don't think they would do that.
Space Godzilla.
I think they would
Or
want to have a very serious movie.
I
Also,
doubt it.
thank you for following Beer Menier 2. Beer
I thought I said
Menier.
Beer Menier 2.
That's where I know Disorderly Night Creature, right? From Leah's streams. Thanks. But yeah, let's make some more movies, dude.
Okay, so because honestly, like this is what I heard on another channel, but they could, if they wanted to, make Destroya kind of like this big Thanos type thing. Then you got all the kaijus having to work together to stop him.
Hmm. Yeah,
I mean,
that could work.
I mean, maybe not. Like, actually, on second thought, I think that would make more sense for Space Godzilla, just because Mega Godzilla is one thing, but this is like an actual Godzilla copy. All its power, all of its stuff and radiation, and all that jazz, and it might be a bigger problem than Mega Godzilla was. Because okay, think of it like this: Godzilla fused with King Ghidorah, and them trying to stop that.
That'd be that'd be an interesting movie, but it might be a little. You know what? Instead of it being an egg, let's say that since King Ghidorah's head, skull thing was harvested, maybe. Okay, maybe they got some DNA off of it, and maybe they got some of Godzilla's DNA, and they put both of those together to create the hybrid.
Right.
And then everybody's freaking out because now this is a super duper alpha titan that's pretty much going to destroy things. So they're going to need like the buddy cops of King Kong and Godzilla to
Wait.
go in.
Question.
What up?
Because it shouldn't matter that much, but I think a lot of people would question why they would make such a thing.
Because they're humans and there's always some stupid person who's going to do something stupid like that in movies. I don't know why. I don't know why they really built a Mecha Godzilla besides this guy's Lex Luthor rant.
Like honestly, because I feel like it's better for this series to just avoid the idea that there is a legit alien race that created Ghidorah, send it off to wherever, or whatever, or some nonsense. Like, because like having an alien come down to do any of that stuff, that would be a lot of Pacific Rim.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's possible, but
I
like,
okay.
okay, like if they're gonna go the alien route, then it would have to be like Pacific Rim, where you don't see the aliens too often. You know they're there, but they never actually show up personally. It's like they would see Ghidorah fail, see Godzilla, and it's like dope. Let's make that, but better and stronger and faster. Like like Mechagodzilla, but better, like even better.
I think okay, so you asked me for a reason why they would do it, why they would like gather the DNA and just mishmash them together.
Well, why humans would do it?
Yes.
Like
So
aliens would want to like finish the job,
right.
but
Humans would do it because they would assume that they need a protector that they could control instead of a robot, because whatever, to at least help them fight Godzilla because of the events of this movie. Because Godzilla was clearly going on rampages all over the place.
right.
So they think that all of these kaiju are unpredictable, including Kong. They could think that Kong wants to come back and like wreck them or something, as well as Godzilla, who's sleeping somewhere in the water. And they just want to make sure that they have their own trump card. So they could use that trump card to fight the any other Titans, kaiju, whatever they want to call them, to, just protect them. It would be similar
Oh,
to, you get what I'm
oh,
saying?
yes, I get what you're saying. Just one slight change.
What up?
They do all of that, everything you're saying, but on either the moon or Mars, so that it's still technically space Godzilla instead of a Godzilla that we built over there.
That's fair. That's fair. Maybe they find life on another planet. And by life, I mean like something mitochondrial, like, very small.
Yes. So they'll go take the Ghidorah DNA from the skull. They'll take the Godzilla DNA from the battle against Mechagodzilla,
And mix it in with whatever microscopic organism that they find on the moon or on Mars or whatever.
and
Because they found water on Mars recently, I think.
right.
So they can just they can go with that.
And naturally, the people of Monarch and wherever and whoever also be like, "That's fucking idiotic. Don't do that." And it's like, don't worry, we're gonna do it differently. We're gonna do what we're gonna do what they did with Kong. We're going to raise this thing from birth, which will build up that family relationship, that loyalty to us. We are like, it's like they're gonna put Godzilla and Ghidorah together, but raise it with some Kong methodology.
Right. Maybe get
Because
them a little human girl to like be best friends with. Because it has to be a little girl apparently. No, they're gonna subvert that. They're gonna make him become friends with a little human boy.
and instead of being deaf, he's like loud, like unusually loud.
Oh my god, so obnoxious. An obnoxious child that will be his
Yes,
best
yes.
friend.
And I know the perfect obnoxious child. The one little annoying kid, Bobby Flay or whatever his name is, or
I don't
whatever his
know
name
who
is.
that is. I don't know who that is.
Oh, you would hate him. He's perfect. So, okay, regardless of little annoying or not annoying children, they have this creature. They are going to raise it from birth to be their Titan savior, and they're gonna think like, yes, this is gonna be cool. It's gonna be our own personal, what do we call it? I don't know, space Godzilla.
First, they'll
Or
say something dumb like Moon Dragon, and then they'll be like, no, Space Godzilla. Because they did the
or
same thing with Mecha Godzilla. It's Robot Godzilla. No.
no,
Mecha Godzilla.
Actually, better idea. Let's like they just call it the Space Godzilla Project.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like it's like it's an official military name because screw it because you can't keep doing this. Just we'll just say a name and it just happen to be the perfect name for this thing. Whatever. Anyway, at first it's tiny and it's going fine, but then it's getting bigger, and then it seems to have like weird like lapses in judgment. I guess we can call it
Hmm.
like it's a habitual line stepper. Like it goes one too far a lot, but overall it's still being nice to whichever child or humans or whatever that it's following. And then, as it turns out, the Ghidorah DNA is activating again.
Mm.
So, but it's got the Godzilla DNA in there too. It's like it's got split personality, constantly fighting in its own body.
So it's at odds with itself.
Yes,
Okay, okay, okay. I like that.
like to make it a little different from Mechagodzilla. Like it's not in total control. It's like it's like its own cells are just at war with each other. But either way, one thing still holds true: the biggest, scariest monster in the world, it wants to take it out, and that happens to be Godzilla.
Like, of course.
And not the same female doctor, like a new female doctor lady, played
Hmm.
by damn it, what was her name? Give me 1 second.
Okie dokie. Was she
Olivia
good?
Wilde,
Olivia Wilde? Okay.
dude, I love her,
Okay. Because you love her, I guess that's fine.
and because this is imaginary, fuck it, whoever we want. It's like, okay, okay, who do you want in there?
I don't care. I just want to see a good movie. I don't care about the humans. I've never cared about the humans in these kaiju movies. Like never.
Fine,
I've
then screw
always
it.
wanted to see the monsters. Like I want them to have their own character, like not necessarily attached to humans.
Right, and all right, so screw it. Olivia Wilde, uh, John Legend. Fuck it, I don't care.
Non Legend.
He, 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 he's been in movies before.
Yeah, the only movie I've ever seen him in was Soul Men with Bernie Mac and Samuel L. Jackson.
Hi, he was also in that other movie with Emma Stone and what was his name?
Hmm.
Shit. Damn it, I looked this up too.
Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling.
What movie was that?
It was this musical movie.
Oh, okay.
Um, Something Land.
Something Land. Got you. Okay. Doesn't matter. What matters is that he was in movies.
La La Land. Damn it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was like, how do I not remember this? I saw the movie, but whatever. Anyway, so them three are, you know what? They're the ones who created Space Godzilla.
Okay.
They are trying. It's like, and they don't want their boy to die, but they understand that they need a defense against the kaiju's, who may or may not be all dead, according to this movie. I was like, I didn't see Rodan go down. Did you?
You right. You right.
All right,
They
but
could do that. Yeah.
right, and then I don't know, Olivia Wall is the one that's in charge of like keeping this monster thing like stable. Especially since she would have. Okay. Long story short, she's barren.
Don't say it
So
like that. Say she's unable to conceive.
I can't think. It's like, there's no easy way to say it except what you just said. But yeah, she starts caring for Space Godzilla like it's her own child. Ryan Gosling's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't care for it this much.
Okay.
And John Legend is just trying to do his job and just leave. It's like, you know what? Fight Godzilla. Don't fight Godzilla. I don't care. Commit to something and let me go home. Because we're in space, not Earth. It's like there's nothing here except this.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to put Jet Jaguar in there somewhere.
You want to put who?
Jet Jaguar. I don't know
Who the
why,
heck
but
is Jet Jaguar?
Jet Jaguar's like he's one of the more famous kaiju's in the Godzilla mythos.
Hold up.
It's
Gotta look it up now.
like Jet Jaguar is like it's not like a full giant robot. It's their ship.
Oh, okay. I got
Now
you.
you know.
Yeah,
Now you get it.
Yeah. It's
It's
a mecha.
right, and it's like okay, and this time it's like a space station or something, or it's a base on the moon or Mars or whichever, where they are creating Space Godzilla. They call it that because shut up. So Olivia Wilde doesn't like how eventually her quote baby's gonna have to fight Godzilla of all things. But they're like, no, that's exactly what it's built for. All right, Olivia Wilde, like I'm secretly harboring some feelings for you, but I'm telling you straight up, we have to have this thing ready in the event that Godzilla goes crazy again for whatever reason. And they have this whole conversation, it's like a whole debate, and but then their arguing starts making Space Godzilla freaking out, and for the lulz, they call Space Godzilla Godzuki because because calling it Space Godzilla over and over again is driving me nuts.
Yeah,
yeah,
Godzuki's cool with me, obviously.
Yeah. So Godzuki's seeing them arguing and it's starting to like get a little worried because that's its mom and these two dudes that clearly don't like it too much is like get angry at her. So it starts freaking out. So and then they all shut the fuck up because yeah, but this problem gets reported to the government. Pick whichever government. I don't. Same difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then Godzilla somehow knows that something's going on. And it starts heading towards a specific direction on the Earth. No one knows why he's going there, but he's just tearing everything apart on the way there. And they're like, you have to launch this thing now. And they're like, okay, but we can't do that. Godzuki's not ready. Blah blah blah. We have to like figure this out. Yada yada. Remember what I said about John Legend wanting to just go?
Yep.
He pushes the button and launches Space Godzilla, ready or not, to Earth to fight Godzilla. So It
So,
lands.
so you're saying that John Legend is definitely going to die in this movie?
Well, he's still on the space station. He's not like there. He's not like on Earth. What while this is happening?
Yes, but you're saying that because he's stupid in this scenario, he's definitely going to die. Because pretty much everybody who does something that's incredibly stupid dies.
Perhaps, but we actually get to why Godzilla was going to this spot. So the spot happens to be. Crap, I'm trying to remember the name. Where Rodan was, the volcano.
Which volcano? I don't remember.
The volcano that Rodan came out of.
Yes.
Yeah, Godzilla was actually going there. Which, by the way, people there are like, God damn it, again? Fuck! All right, everybody in the boats. So he goes to that volcano for whatever reason, and then you find out why he was going there. When Ghidorah was there before, it laid an egg. So there's a baby Ghidorah about to hatch.
Okay.
And you got Space Godzilla who lands there, and Godzilla's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And Space Godzilla's like, "Fuck man, who are you?" So they fight, and Kazuki's got moves, but you can see that it's clearly not ready. Like Kazuki's getting winded pretty quickly. Like they try to set up for like combat, but it's not working out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then,
before you continue, thank you for the follow, Ghost Shell. We appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. And then the Ghidorah whatever just starts, percolating in Space Godzilla's head.
That sounds nasty, but okay.
Oh, you want nasty? It looks at the egg and just eats it whole.
Okay, I like that.
And everyone's like, what the It's like, what? And then Olivia Wilde explains to Stranger Things girl who would still be there because screw it, I don't care.
Oh, gosh.
Whatever. It's something to something for fans to latch onto, like, oh, this person's still here. I can follow along. This, Space Godzilla, Godzuki, is half Godzilla, half Ghidorah. Except now we just got a fuck ton of Ghidorah DNA. It's not so much an egg, it's more like a backup.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone would sit there like, that is fucking insane. It's like, how could it be that smart? And everyone looks at the guy who just said that, like, have you ever paid attention to this whole fucking series? They're a lot smarter than we know. So now Space Godzilla is starting to freak out because now it's got all this Ghidorah DNA, and now it grows bigger than Godzilla to the point where now we have full primetime Space Godzilla ready to go. The regeneration, the lightning blast, the radiation, fire, and all that stuff, it's all there. So Godzilla's getting the shit kicked out of him. And this is the halfway point. It's like this is halfway through the movie. Because then we got to get the other monsters in there. Because this is a problem. Kong doesn't want to go. He's like, fuck Godzilla. Fuck the other Godzilla. Fuck it. I'm liking it here. It's like the Hollow Earth is great. There's so much other animals to eat here. But then the deaf girl's like, do it. And he's like, fuck. So he lets them take him there with the axe because, yeah. By the way, the axe is getting destroyed. First thing. Because, I don't know, I just don't like it.
You don't like the axe? Listen.
It's such a fucking cop-out.
Listen. Bro. Think about it. You take a scale off of your mortal enemy and you make it into an axe, that is baller. He's keeping the
I've
axe.
played Monster Hunter. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know that's cool and all that. But it's like Kong survival literally hinges on that axe. It's like let's amp up the tension. Let's take away their super weapon. It's like with the axe they would try to block Space Godzilla's energy, whatever's, but it would destroy the axe. Like it would overload it.
Okay, fine.
You didn't think it could overload, but there it is.
But I want him to get another axe from Godzilla.
We'll see.
No, he's got to get another axe from Godzilla. Godzilla is going to get messed up. Maybe one of his spiky back fins. I don't want to call it a dorsal fin because he's not a fish, but
that's what everybody calls it. But fine, like he'll get another one later. But for right now, Kong and Godzilla get their asses beat.
That's fine. Does he get defibrillated again?
No. That was. It's like, sure, give this one scene so this one guy feels special. Congrats, other guy, you weren't a waste.
I don't remember. Was he in King of the Monsters?
No, this is his literal first time ever showing up in this series.
So I didn't understand anything. I have to talk about this before we continue this fanfic, because, like, what was going on with him? What was his backstory? Did he lose somebody to Godzilla?
His brother died trying to find the Hollow Earth.
That's it?
Oh, and his book didn't sell.
Yeah, he said he had 30 copies in like another room, and I'm like, bro, why did you have so many copies?
Because someone had to buy them.
Goodness gracious, then you're breaking even. That's whack. Anyway, like, I saw him looking at a picture of his brother, right? I think it was him and his bro. Right. At first I thought it was like his husband or something, like whatever.
I think it was his husband.
Why did I think it was his husband? Why not?
He said his brother like twice.
Yeah, he mentioned his brother, but do you think I was paying attention to what the humans said? The humans were boring. All I know is that Dosaki's guy and the Japanese dude who was controlling it, yeah, that's his name. They came in to talk to him, and like he was like, "Oh yeah, let me give you some of my books," and that's when I started tuning out. They mentioned Hollow Earth, and I was like, "Oh, that's a thing." I vaguely remember that name from something I read, but I don't know. And he's like, "Okay, well, we're gonna do this thing, and then here's my daughter to do all of this stuff," and she comes in like she's obviously evil because she's wearing tight black clothes and she's very stern looking, and she keeps on calling Kong the big monkey.
Yeah.
So like, what is the point of all of these human characters, and why are they? What are their stories? Like, they just show up. For me, they just show up because like I'm starting to get bored.
Right.
So like, who are they? What are their stories? All I know is that, first of all, other guy. All I know is that like he wants to find the Hollow Earth or whatever. And he has no experience with anything other than writing a book, as far as I can tell.
He is some sort of scientist.
Oh, he's a scientist, and he knows how to
fly. He'd have to be to like have anybody even believe the book.
Well, he apparently didn't sell the book, so apparently he wasn't that believable.
Or no one wanted to read about the Hollow Earth, because
who cares?
What even is that? But it's dumb. Oh, Dr. Chorus, what's up?
Hey, Dr. Chorus, and Brendan's back. Welcome back. So yes, continue with the fanfic.
Hold up, Dr. Chorus's comment. All I need is a library and a montage, and he can find the Hollow Earth.
I mean, that would definitely be a better 80s film.
You could do anything with a montage.
Yep. I was gonna call him Donkey Kong. Jesus Christ. Kong could Kong could literally have a workout montage and he'd be good.
What would he lift?
Um, the axe is full of
The,
radiation, so like
the
he
hex
could
is nothing to him.
he could gain radiation like gate. Crap. What's it called? Radiation immunity from it. Hey, lady. But yeah, just like anything. I don't care. Montages make everything better. We need a montage in this movie.
Sure, with a hip '80s track.
Actually, I kind of when it comes to okay, so let's shelve the fan fiction for right now and actually compare the original Kong versus Godzilla to this remake. How do you feel about them in comparison to each other?
Uh, I feel like the recent one has less nonsense. Like,
Like Balloon Kong?
yeah,
I
like
mean,
there's no easy way to explain that. It's just Balloon Kong. That is a thing that happened.
in the newer one, he didn't really shove a tree and it was an axe, but that's true. He did use something to put in Godzilla's mouth to um, prevent him from using the atomic breath.
Yeah,
The axe handle was a bone. The handle
was
was
it
a
a
bone.
bone?
I believe so. Like I just saw it this morning. Hold on. Well, let me go back. Let's look at that axe. Let's see. An hour and 23 minutes. That should be good enough.
Could have sworn it was a tree or wooden, at least.
I don't think it would be able to survive very long in battle if it were a tree. A bone from one of Godzilla's species, I assume, would be denser and a little more strong.
I guess so. Actually, would make more sense.
Oh gosh.
Okay, and
Stupid thing is buffering. Whatever. So we're not doing that. I think it's a bone. It might not be a bone. It could be a tree, but whatever.
let's
Actually,
say it's a bone.
yeah.
It makes a lot more sense if it's a bone. What sort of rope they used to tie it together, I have no idea, but whatever. That's just how it is.
Super strong hollow earth thing. It's
Vines.
definitely a bone
Okay.
because the bottom of it is shaped like a femur or something like that.
Right.
I just found some articles that are like, oh yeah, no, that it could be made from two animals. Okay, I'm just gonna
What
read the
two animals?
article. Yeah, I know, whatever. The axe shares a great resemblance with a tomahawk, except it has a bone similar to a femur as its handle and a Titanus Gojira dorsal plate as its blade. I don't like calling it dorsal, but whatever. When
That's what it
charged,
is.
yeah, I know, but it's just goofy. When charged, the blade glows a bright blue and the handle glows a soft red. Hmm, I didn't notice that. But yeah, so there you go. It's bone.
Okay. And where was I? Okay, so Space Godzilla has beaten the hell out of Godzilla and Kong, and it unleashes its super ray, whatever. And you think they're dead, but as it turns out, Godzilla grabbed grabbed Kong with its tail and just pulled him like far, far underwater into the hollow earth or wormhole tunnels from King of the Monsters or whatever. Whatever, they got away. So now Space Godzilla is pretty much being Godzilla and just tearing shit up because its need to conquer the world is mixing with its need to punish humans for their hubris on the planet, and it's basically just going insane, just trying to destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, while this is happening, another part of Monarch, the twin ladies from King of the Monsters, which you don't find out that they're twins until like when it's like you know relatively important. Because surprise, Mothra.
Woo.
Mothra has been growing this entire time, and they're like, yeah, this is a problem. We need everyone on this because Godzilla is one thing. This is Godzilla, but insane. So they go ahead, do something to try and like wake it up, and I mean, yeah, Mothra gets up, and I don't know his name. Madison's dad. You saw him.
Yeah,
They're
that guy.
like, everyone knows that guy. He was Wolf of Wall Street, don't you know? He was the cop.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
doesn't matter. Anyway, he's like, actually, there is one other thing, and then they actually knew where Rodan was. All he, they there was another volcano. Rodan went there, stayed there, and all they've really done with him is just watch and hope he doesn't wake up. And as like they would get called out of that, like you literally just sat there all this time just watching Rodan, and it's like compared to the other stuff that these things can do. Yes, I did. I stayed here, watched this sleeping monster, and I just took in the paychecks. Compared to what that is, and they see more Space Gods of Destruction, I'd rather be here. Fuck you for saying I have to like do anything else, and that is not incorrect because because what could he do honestly?
Hmm.
It's another way to see it. Like, oh, you think I should be like more involved? Involved doing what exactly? It's like answer me, stupid daughter. What should I do to help Godzilla against that? In fact, what should I do at all? No, I stayed here, watched that thing, got paid, and paid for your college, you ungrateful bitch.
Dang, dude.
No, yeah, this is like the third movie. Like, he'd be like straight up sick of this monster shit.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I would have just. First of all, I don't
He
remember what happened to the mother.
oh, she,
She died, right?
yeah, it's
Okay,
okay.
that's fine.
She was distracting King Ghidorah so that Godzilla could have time to get back on its feet. Ghidorah crashed her car, and she was basically screwed because Ghidorah was like right there, but then burning Godzilla happened, and she essentially got melted along with Boston.
Okay, cool. So she's, essentially without a parent. This guy is trying to keep the world safe as well as keep her fed and clothed and also safe.
And she's been nothing but combative against him.
And
And
dude is like first of all, she was calling him about the podcaster guy. First of all, this podcaster guy is like literally the worst influence ever. He doesn't even care about his day job, which is um he's an engineer.
mm-hmm.
Why is he not concentrating on engineering? Get a job at a better place if he doesn't like Apex.
Oh, by the
Or
way, what's left of Apex gets absorbed into Monarch, so no one
okay,
loses their jobs,
fair,
more or less.
fine. But this guy is concentrating on conspiracy theories, putting bleach on his body, and hanging
Not
out with high school kids.
not drinking, but then drinking or something.
Oh, his idea was to drink when like he's supposed to finish his bottle when there's nothing left and he's pretty much about to die.
Right.
That was his backstory because his wife gave it to him, and Josh, the weird kid who gets crapped on throughout the movie, is like, "Hey, why do you keep your whiskey bottle in the holster?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna drink this when there's nothing left for me." I'm like, "Okay, dark." And when he's about to drink it, the kid just empties it on a computer and literally saves everyone's lives.
And he is like, "You son of a bitch! I don't want to die sober."
He's like, "It's bad enough that I have to die with you, but I gotta die sober too." I'm like, "Come on, dude. You are 30 some odd years old and you talking to a high school kid. Stop it. Get some help."
Yes. Yeah, so like the dad freaks out on his daughter, and and everybody just calms him down because it's like, okay, we get it, we completely get it. You don't have to like it's like just chill, and so he goes to the corner, like takes a breath, straight to things girl gets like of that. And he's like, oh my god, this this stings, and I get it, and it's like, damn, and then they all take a moment, and they're like, we're waking up Rodan, aren't we? We're like, yep, we are waking up Rodan. So the little bombs. Rodan wakes up, and Rodan's like rah, and just flies off. And they're like, and the dad's like, that is your entire college fund flying away. Get a job, and he leaves. He pieces out of the movie. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Hashtag support yourself, children. Anyway, um, but yeah, eventually they all gotta like be some weird Fantastic Four, unless some of their monster shows up. Un- Except then, what's his name? John Legend realizing what he just did is like, okay, admittedly, I fucked that up, and I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm also sorry for the other secrets that I kept, including some that could actually help us right now. And they're like, what are you talking about? Well, you know that there's like more bases that we happen to have. Well, this base, which is on the moon or Mars, it's meant to deal with Space Godzilla. The other base was meant to build something else in case Space Godzilla failed, which it did. And okay, you know what? For simplicity's sake, because Godzuki was on Mars, this other place is on the moon. Fuck it, whatever. So they take the ship. Keywords. It's called the Jet Jaguar. Goes to the moon, and they're like, "What the fuck is that?" Well, remember when Mecha Godzilla beat the shit out of Godzilla a while ago? That it freaked out because it used got just some Ghidorah stuff. So we took some parts of that, left out the Ghidorah parts, and uh, it's sleeker, but it's more controllable. If not completely controllable, because the last thing they need is something else going crazy on them.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's missing its head. Actually, that's the thing. We're sitting in it. The Jet Jaguar is going to combine with this thing to become Jet Jaguar. And Ryan Gosling would ask, "How the hell do they got the money for this?" And he says, "Taxes."
That's dumb, but okay. I
Oh, taxes are dumb. They're dumb, I tell you. But anyway, and like yeah, they got the funding from us. Us regular folk. We paid for this thing. LOL. So they're going to send Jet Jaguar to join well, screw it, the Avengers. Godzilla and Kong are, healing. Mothra shows up to add her healing powder, whatever, to them. Rodan shows up and is like, ah, shit, you're here. Fuck. Fine. And then Jaguar shows up and everybody freaks out because it's a fucking robot again. So it's a whole thing where they actually, calm the monsters down because Jaguar's not here to, fight them. He's here to help. And then the monster, be evolved now. And Spade's Godzilla is heading straight for them because it has Godzilla senses and it can, it's actually been hunting them the whole time. That's right. It knew Godzilla was alive. So it's been trying to, get at him. And actually, which would be better, Hollow Earth or Random City for them to fight?
You know what? Hollow Earth.
Fine. Gravity shifts. Cool. So they all go to the Hollow Earth. The Jet Jaguar has been built to, survive that. And I don't know, Ryan Gosling's piloting it. Fuck it. I don't care. So now I have a 5-on-1 monster fight. And whatever is lighting up the Hollow Earth, the quote-unquote sun, yeah, Space Godzilla's after that. They give it like the wellspring for everything. Like if it gets that, Earth is dead. Yes, this was Ghidorah's plan all along. Take out the monsters, take out this thing, terraform the Earth, bang, bang, boom, it's over. So, big old fight. I don't even know how to describe a fight like that, but screw it. They get another. Actually, no, the dorsal fins, and that's what they're called, gets knocked off, and then Jet Jaguar ties them to itself. So now it has these fists, these gauntlets that can block whatever Space Godzilla's firing. Not for long, but long enough to actually do damage. And then trying to think of some big super reveal, but I can't think of anything. There's so many friggin' parts of this. But Rodan is laying down cover fire with its fire. Mothra is trying to slash at it because it's Mothra.
Okay.
And it all seems to be going well until it actually does manage to land a solid hit on the thing. And then the thing starts roaring. And everybody, monsters, humans, whatever, is like, what the fuck? And this thing gets up. Turns out it's not sunlight, it's dorsal fins. It's Godzilla Earth from the anime. It is bigger, badder, and it's now officially pissed because somebody woke it up. This thing has been lighting up the Hollow Earth for fucking millennia. Sleeping. Just sleeping. And now it's awake and it's pissed.
Why? Why?
Because wouldn't it be weird if it all just came back to Godzilla? Like, wouldn't it be weird if it all just came back to Godzilla? Oh, Leah, you are just in time. I am building a masterpiece movie.
She's talking about something that Dr. Chorus said earlier in the chat, which I'm not repeating, and which has absolutely nothing to do with this podcast. So please continue.
Okay, so this thing, Godzilla Earth, is honestly 3 to 5 times the size of regular Godzilla.
Okay.
Size, weight, all of it. And it's like, what the fuck, son? But in Godzilla form, talk, whatever. And it's like, um, you know how Godzilla's like the king of the monsters? You know how there's like, well, there's a king and now there's a god? Yeah. Godzilla Earth is essentially the god of all the monsters.
Hmm.
But naturally, Space Godzilla wants to get at him. So he just unloads on him. And then massive tail swipe, smack, Space Godzilla's down. And then it starts looking at its son and starts looking at the other monsters. And like a god, it's like, prepare to be smoten.
Smoked.
Yeah, he's gonna smite them all. It just straight up murders Mothra in front of them, and its blast or its radioactive breath in doing that damn near cuts the Hollow Earth in half. Like, this is a death ray. This is a problem. It grabs Jet Jaguar and just tosses him like trash, and then it sees. Oh, this would actually be another thing that would come up. It would actually see what's his name, Kong, holding an axe with dorsal fins on it, and it's like that. It's just a whole "you dare" kind of thing. So Kong is now using its ape-like agility to get the fuck out of there because it didn't sign up for this shit before, but now it's a problem. This is a problem. It doesn't want to be here anymore. And Godzilla is. It's kind of getting in the way. It's like okay, look, these are like this isn't the problem. That motherfucker is the problem. And then Godzilla Earth smacks down regular Godzilla. It's like Godzilla was a king, but this bigger one is just throwing its weight around, literally. Like, it's more of a tyrant. This is Tyrant Godzilla.
Makes sense.
Doesn't make sense. Whatever.
It does make sense if you think about
it. So, and Rodan is flying around to try and like distract it, or is trying to run away. It's actually it would actually be discussed. Like, what's it trying to do? Is it trying to run or fight? And for the record, if you're watching King of the Monsters, this is well within Rodan's character to either, because apparently bowing's not going to work. He has to like think of something. Hey, Dragon 2K, how you doing?
Yeah,
you were napping. Okay, and you're actually just in time. I am weaving a twisted tale for the next Godzilla movie. It's essentially Godzilla, Kong, Mothra, Rodan, and Jet Jaguar versus Space Godzilla, who's half Ghidorah. It would be called Godzuki, but also, yeah. And with how Godzilla Earth is moving, and again, it's fucking huge. It's actually starting to cause earthquakes all over the world. Like, this thing needed to be asleep. It's going to kill everyone if it's not stopped somehow. So you have.
Oh, take a sip of water, dude. You've been talking straight for a while.
After this, I'm almost done.
Okay.
So, Godzilla Earth. Oh, by the way, how there was a sun in the Hollow Earth somehow. It wasn't the sun. It was Godzilla Earth. From the anime, you might recall, five times Godzilla's size, and is effectively a tyrant among monsters. So now that Nico's all caught up, what was I going to say? So it's now officially all hands on deck. And then Jet Jaguar, in a borderline kamikaze move, flies straight into Godzilla to like try and knock it out. It doesn't work, but it's left kind of a wound.
Okay.
It's trying to heal it. But then Space Godzilla, who was knocked the fuck out, Olivia Wall shows up and it's trying to communicate that it can, help and, stop that thing. And Godzilla's trying to stop it, and now Space Godzilla's trying to stop it as well, along with its King Ghidorah parts to get it to fight in the first place. Because it's now regenerating.
Mm-hmm.
And then essentially it's Godzilla and Space Godzilla teaming up to try and stop Godzilla Earth from destroying everything. Because it's theorized by screw it, Stranger Things girl. Give her something to do. That if this thing ends up destroying the Earth, it could just unleash its power to just restart everything. Like dinosaurs all over again. Oh, crap.
Hey, what up, Nico?
Hey, yeah.
I mean, Dragon.
It's fine.
I didn't see you there.
I was just napping earlier, so I was just like, okay, I'm in.
It's all good.
And lady voting yes, Millie Bobby Brown, to give her something to do, would also be like a science person, and she would theorize that Godzilla Earth would end up restarting the world.
Well, the thing with Godzilla Earth, though, is that technically Godzilla Earth is for the Earth, regardless of the people on it. And Godzilla himself is for the Earth, regardless of the people on it. So I'm less likely to see them fight each other and more likely to see them team up against the Earth.
Yes, again, that's like the hard part of this. It's like, why would Godzilla fight Godzilla Earth?
Yeah, no, it's more likely for them to be on the same side. The only thing I can see that's different would be that one thing that Godzilla Earth is known for is that because it's a plant-based Godzilla, where its actual DNA modifies all of the DNA of the planet to become Godzilla, which is what it did in the movie itself. It can possibly see that as a potential invasion of the Earth, of modifying it to be something else. That's the only way I can see it actually working in that sense, where Godzilla's like, as much as I'm for the planet, I'm not for another version of Godzilla converting the planet into a Godzilla.
Right.
Yep. So Sonny, I don't know how much you've seen of Godzilla Earth.
None. I didn't get the chance to watch them.
Yeah. So basically, that Godzilla in that is plant-based, where instead of regular Godzilla being evolved from an animal, that Godzilla is evolved from a plant, which is why its DNA is able to integrate with the DNA of the entire planet. And it basically, when the time skip happens in the movie, that's like 10,000 years. When humanity comes back to Earth, they find out that everything in that planet has Godzilla cells in it at this point. So all the animal life, all the plant life, everything has Godzilla cells.
There are dragons. There are literal dragons on that planet.
Yes. So that's why it's like, compared to like other things, he Godzilla Earth itself can convert a planet into itself, in technically due to its cells now being the planet cells.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But again, in that series, there was the most broken forms of like every single major kaiju that appeared. Like Mechagodzilla was a being made of nanomachines. It was literally an entire being of nanomachines.
Oh.
But then Godzilla hit it first, and then all the nanomachines spilled out, and it actually became Mechagodzilla City.
Yeah. And And Ghidorah is the most broken Ghidorah known to man because it
Right.
is literally already a being of the void, which means that it can affect causality. So, like one of the examples of its powers in the movie is that it encounters this spaceship, and the spaceship's computer is given a warning that everyone on the spaceship is already dead, and everyone is like, "Why is it saying that everyone's dead?" It's literally because Ghidorah has warped space time with its presence that it's already killed them in the future. And space time is basically going in the past saying that, oh, they're already dead until it catches up to the future that they've actually all died.
Yeah. And when it actually arrives on Earth, Godzilla Earth tries to destroy it, but nothing it's doing is working because it's essentially not there, but also there. Like it's radioactive breath just bounces off, and its claws can't even touch it.
Yeah, it basically it's in a quantum state.
Yeah,
So yeah, so basically that franchise has the most broken version of those three characters in terms of their power levels.
Mhm.
Well, technically the most broken version of Godzilla. Of course, we're not including that Godzilla Goes to Hell version that we talked about before.
yeah, that was weird. Okay,
So
so
I mean,
let's.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say like, I guess this version of Godzilla Earth would see Godzilla as like you failed me kind of thing. Like it's like Godzilla is a king. Godzilla Earth in this movie would be like a tyrant.
It's possible. I mean, for the next Godzilla movie, if we go based on what creatures it has fought, I suspect the next one will probably be something from space. I suspect they might
That's
finally
what,
bring some.
That's the whole story that he
that's what I've
just
been doing.
wove.
Yeah, so that's my suspicion of what the next one will be. Or if they don't do something from space, it would possibly be something about um, someone trying to destroy Mothra's egg before it hatches, and Godzilla has to be the true bro and save the egg.
Yeah, but why would someone want to destroy Mothra's egg?
You never know. One of the other kaiju's might just want to eat that egg to get power. Because hell, it died
Right.
powered up Godzilla.
That is true. Okay, and actually, I didn't explain this part again, but essentially, why would humans want to get Godzilla DNA, Ghidorah DNA, and put it together to basically do what they did with Mechagodzilla and make a protector? But the plan for them was this time around, we're going to raise this thing from birth. You know,
Mm.
I know, but essentially make that attachment that Kong has with that deaf kid.
But Godzilla isn't really like that, though.
I know, I know. Again, it's flimsy. The other characters would say explicitly, this is flimsy as fuck. But but again, the argument: if Godzilla flips out again for whatever reason, we need someone to save us.
I would see them more taking Kong cells and then slowly incorporating some of the abilities of Ghidorah or Godzilla into like a mutated Kong that they would raise, because then at least they're more likely to control a monkey.
But Kong lost to Godzilla before.
Right, but that's because its tongue was a regular monkey. In this case, they'll be incorporating some of the radioactive
Radiation.
features
Yep.
of Godzilla and then the space DNA of Ghidorah into it, so it becomes like a Kong that doesn't that although has a monkey shape, has access to capabilities that it should not have.
Honestly, that could lead to like a Mecha King Kong. I would watch that. I would watch that movie.
At the end
It
of the
sounds so
day,
dumb.
at the end of the day, I'm not too sure where they're going to go next. I know there's still a whole rogues gallery of kaiju they can choose as the next movie.
Right.
I definitely
Uh,
think they could.
yeah, but the thing is, it's like of that Rogues Gallery, and I've seen the list. Like, there's a lot of monsters there. Which one would be like a good like boss villain for the movie?
Well,
And
we still need to have floating turtle come back.
do you mean Gamera?
Gamera?
Because that
I think that's a different property, though.
Oh,
yeah,
it is. Oh,
Yeah,
damn!
they're both.
I thought it was on. Okay, okay.
people have
Yeah,
tried. Like people have
I,
tried to get those two together.
I want it to be a thing.
Yes, it's like the same thing with trying to get a Pacific Rim versus Godzilla.
I mean, here's what.
Mm,
If Pacific Rim fought Godzilla, Pacific Rim loses. And the only reason I say that is because the kaiju levels in Pacific Rim, I don't think are on the same level of the kaiju of Godzilla in terms of like Godzilla himself. Like none of the kaijus in Pacific Rim has shown the capability of blasting a hole to the center of the earth.
yep.
True.
I mean, although I would say this now, that is the most BS thing there because in real life, Hong Kong would have been
Yes,
destroyed.
it is.
If legit someone blasted a hole to the center of the earth, the amount of damage that would cause from that hole alone would have probably wrecked Hong Kong completely, among other things.
It's like Looney Tunes. You can just blast to this opposite end of the planet, and nothing goes wrong.
I found that so dumb. And they just had to find. So, how do we get Kong back up to the surface very quickly? Oh, let's just have Godzilla blast the hole. How does he know where to aim? He just does. What?
It's true. It's terrible. But anyway, like honestly, like my thing is just explaining why there's light in the Hollow Earth, and
I mean, it could be
that's
bacteria. It could be some type of fungus that just produces light. Who knows?
well, I say it's the bigger version of Godzilla. Anyway, so okay, and yeah, to explain Space Godzilla, essentially it's like they took the two DNAs of Godzilla and Kong. I mean, not that fucking Godzilla and Ghidorah, put them
There you
together,
go.
tried to grow that, and for the laughs on our end, they called the baby version of Space Godzilla Godzuki.
Oh gosh.
Yes. I went there. I went there, and oh, and they happen to be on fucking let's say Mars, and the ship that they used to get there is called the Jet Jaguar, and this is one of many. I know. Look,
He's
I know.
like, nope, I can't do this. Yeah.
I, I can't stop. I just can't. So because of the Ghidorah stuff in him, he starts like almost going on auto program to like kill everything. But the Godzilla stuff's like already fighting it, so he's like it's like this whole in between. But Olivia Wilde's there to like trying to balance him out. By the way, Olivia Wilde's there, and Ryan Gosling and John Legend. Shut up, they're there. So
Wait. Okay. I have to ask a favor then. Does Godzilla tail accidentally swipes left and kill them all?
no,
Damn it! You don't know how much in these movies I just want the humans to die off because I mean I'm sorry they're like the worst parts of that movie. I would.
Yeah, no,
Well,
we definitely
we get it. We know.
mentioned that.
We had a whole rant about the humans. Okay, so all right, so John Legend gets like impatient, wants to Space Godzilla at Godzilla. Space Godzilla goes crazy, and then they're like, "Ah, shit, we have to like go to the moon and use the other base to like figure out what to do." And that base has the rest of Jet Jaguar's body. They grab Jet Jaguar, they go there. The other quote Avengers assemble: Godzilla, Kong, Mothra, Rodan, who's still alive, and Jet Jaguar now. And I can't think of anybody else that would be there and also be helpful. I don't know, Tusk Mammoth thing? Probably not. So it's like they don't have a lot of. It's like they don't have a lot to choose from. So screw it. But then Space Godzilla tracks them down after. Well, Godzilla was actually going after a Ghidorah egg that was there on the volcano that he was before with Rodan.
Mhm.
Space Godzilla eats the egg, gets a whole bunch of Ghidorah DNA in him. So now it's basically Ghidorah again for reasons. And then it actually knew that Godzilla and Kong were alive after it beat them the first time. So it's tracking them down to the Hollow Earth where they're going to have the big knockdown dragon fight between Space Godzilla and all these other Titans. But then the sun is actually Godzilla Earth, who's pissed at all of them for waking it up. And then
Okay, so a few
it's
things.
a terrible movie. I know it's a terrible movie.
A few things. One, I would pray that the next movie doesn't involve anything Ghidorah because we've had Ghidorah be in two movies so far.
Yep.
The first
True.
one, of him being King of the Monsters. Second one is using his skull to control Mechagodzilla, and then technically him becoming Mechagodzilla when he took control. So I would love a movie that doesn't have Ghidorah as right again in the next movie. I do like your idea of Hollow Earth being the next area where the threat is.
Mhm.
They could probably create a new Godzilla or something like it, or probably say something called like Primal Godzilla, where it's just a being that has, like you said, something that has existed in the earth for that long, and because of humanity coming there, because of the hole to the top of the earth, it has awoken. I'm perfectly fine with that being some type of plot. It doesn't have to be a Godzilla itself. It just has to be something really powerful of that's a kaiju, and that has its powers boosted because it is basically existed in Hollow Earth, more or less feeding off the power of Hollow Earth. I could see that being like a big boss. And then how it would start off is that Kong is having his regular day in his habitat that they built in Hollow Earth, and occasionally they start off with like the people, the humans, they mean like, that's the fifth tremor this week. Why are we suddenly getting all these tremors over here in Hollow Earth? And then they also notice that occasionally Kong will look off in the distance in a specific direction, and they're not understanding what's going on. And then they realize, oh, the earthquakes are getting more and more. Oh, something's coming, because Kong now starts acting up. You see Kong looking around for the weapon that has Godzilla's scale in it, looking ready to fight. It is very angry, and then you would just see like something just pop up from the ground of Hollow Earth, this gigantic monster, and everyone goes like, "Oh, ah!" And that starts, and that's like the first part of the movie.
All right.
And I can see that being a thing, because if you introduce Hollow Earth and you introduce the creatures there, definitely have something that's been living there that is just woken up because humanity allowed things to get back into Hollow Earth, would be a very good way I can see them in making the next movie.
All right, that works. And I used Godzilla Earth because I couldn't think of anything else that was like that insane.
I'm thinking what they could do is they could probably have maybe a primal version. Because remember, they did say that all the kaiju's came from Hollow Earth, except for Ghidorah, who came from space. All the other ones would have come from Hollow Earth and moved out eventually. So it stands to reason that there's entirely possible of one of the other kaiju's there being an ancestral version. So maybe it could be a Rodan that existed there before that is far more powerful, and it would also reference the light because Rodan brings up all this heat. You could probably call it something like a primal Rodan, which is basically like giving off all the light and heat because it has stayed in Hollow Earth for so long that its body is just like living flame.
I like that. Actually, that works because there were primal, or there was another name for them. Remember that when we did the first kaiju cast, we had a video. We watched the video of the sizes of all of the kaiju,
Yes,
and
there were older versions of some of the other characters. Like there was an older Godzilla that died.
right.
So it stands to reason that it's entirely possible that there may be other older versions of the other kaiju that exist there. And Rodan fits the bill the best because Rodan just deals with fire naturally. That it would be like it's absorbed so much energy and fire from this place that it's literally become like a living flame. So like you just see things start burning and melting around it, and even like King Kong can't get too close because with the heat it emits, it's similar to like when Godzilla goes all heat mode.
Burning Godzilla.
Basically, think of burning Godzilla just on a Rodan that can fly around, and you just see like the massive heat wave of everything just melting around wherever it flies over.
So it would have to be somewhere very arid and desolate.
Well, I mean, Hollow Earth
because
does have areas that are desolate, so it would work.
Yeah.
so the thing is, because I'm thinking maybe a desert area in the Hollow Earth that
Well,
is
not in a desert.
essentially
Like, it's
Well,
like
no, that could be the explanation for the
it
desert
could be a
area.
mountain. Like,
No, it could just be the explanation for the
That's-
desert area itself. That
exactly
because
that's what
of
I
the
mean.
heat, the heat
It's
that
so
it gives
arid,
off, yeah, that it literally just prevents anything from living there or growing there because the heat it gives off just evaporates all the moisture.
and that's how the Hollow Earth is lit. Because I'm really frustrated with it being a subterranean world, and there's a ceiling that's basically rock,
So
and the ground is rock.
can we say it under the sea?
That
Under
No,
the
frustrates me too.
sea.
That's
no.
another thing. No, seriously, that's another thing. Godzilla shoots a beam straight down. There's no water anywhere.
Well, I assume that what happened was that he evaporated that water instantly when his beam hit, and he probably suited the sides of that whole thing
Yeah.
that he made with his gigantic heat beam. That's what I assume happened. But again, let's not think too much about how dumb it is that he can beam all the way to the center of the earth.
Yeah,
Fine.
because if you think about it now, if Godzilla could do that, then Godzilla could blast out the other way, just kill everything.
Oh no, regular Godzilla could kill everything. It literally means that his atomic breath should not have been stoppable by a lot of things because he beamed in one of the regular kaiju, excluding Ghidorah here, because Ghidorah is a more powerful version. Any of the other kaiju he ever beamed should have been instantly obliterated by that beam because it's strong enough to literally burn through solid rock, tectonic plates, and anything else that goes through all the way down to the center of the earth.
And he hit Kong with one. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yes. So literally, his beam should be strong enough to completely evaporate any most living tissue.
Oh gosh, that movie.
So that's why I said we don't. Godzilla versus Kong is a movie where you turn your brain off. There are
I
too
couldn't
many.
see what you missed is that the very first scene had already determined how turned off my brain would have been. And the first scene said, "No, Sonny, your brain must be on and in overdrive to try to explain everything that's happening." And I couldn't. I couldn't explain
You
anything.
can't. You literally this movie is a definition of a summer blockbuster. You go there for the action. That's it. You
Yep.
don't go there for the plot in any way, shape, or form because it makes no damn sense.
There's like 30 minutes of action in a 2-hour movie.
Yes, but it's awesome kaiju action, which is why I'm willing to forgive the movie a bit more than I would like regular generic, hey, people shoot each other action because we got big monsters fighting each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason people give this movie such a high rating. The fact that we've gotten some of the best, I'm not sure if it is the best, but some of the best monster v monster action on the big screen that we've ever gotten in any movie. Because the fights between Kong and Godzilla were choreographed pretty damn well, and I enjoyed that compared
yeah.
to King of the Monsters, where you saw that you didn't really get that type of action in there because they still didn't have the choreography down packed yet. And then let's not even talk about the 2016 version where you couldn't see Jack.
Yeah. That was terrible.
So that's the main reason why I'm fine with the action of the movie. The plot of the movie is god awful. It is dumb. It you know what it reminds me of? It feels like they got the people who makes all those B grade sci-fi movies on the Sci-Fi Channel, got them into a room and say, "Hey, let's just make a plot for this." That's what it felt
that
like.
bad, but yeah.
Oh, it is that bad. Come on. Like, compare a plot of Sharknado to a plot of this.
I never saw Sharknado. I never saw any of the Sharknado.
I'm sorry. The writing in this movie, in terms of an actual plot, is just dumb. The forced way, like how people were like, "Oh, how did no one think? Hey, if he's attacking this specific facility, not once but twice, isn't there something wrong with that facility that we should be investigating?" Huh? Did no one put that connection together?
Nope.
Nope. They just thought he was a monster just attacking everything.
Not to mention, how the hell did that facility build an underground tunnel from
Florida to Hong Kong.
from Florida to Hong Kong without anyone noticing this? You mean to tell me no one noticed? Not even having Godzilla suddenly destroy it because it travels through the ocean? You mean to tell me that at no point Godzilla would have been like, why the hell are these people building this gigantic thing that feels like it has kaiju in it below here?
It's like, wouldn't that be impossible to make while Milgar Brown was still a teenager?
Not to mention the amount of time and money it would take to build that means that they would have probably had to start that before King of the Monsters even began.
Yes.
And with the amount of damage that was done during King of the Monsters to all over, I highly doubt that got away unscathed.
people had to have noticed that. Like,
it's all these stupid inconsistencies. Not to mention, and I say this is the dumbest point of this movie, and I don't know if you all discussed this. So, can people tell me that this energy works by just studying a wave? Do you just download a wave
Yes,
pattern and suddenly you get energy?
that is idiotic. It's like
yeah,
okay. We're gonna apparently trick this deaf girl, this scientist lady, and this other guy into taking us to wherever, and then we're gonna copy and paste this wavelength and send a signal somehow from this place to the surface, which somehow gets a clear signal, I guess, and that's gonna be enough to perpetuate a mecha.
It is by far the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, I suspended my disbelief when they were able to build anti gravity technology in the span of like 2 years from King of the Monsters to present, because I mean that technology didn't even exist when King of the Monsters started. So I suspend my disbelief that one organization can create anti grav technology in so short a time. But you can't tell me that you can download a wavelength and then say, "Oh yeah, I got energy from it." What? You
yep.
don't even have the same materials. The materials down in Hollow Earth maybe have completely unknown minerals or molecules in there than what you have up on Earth on the top level. How does that even work?
Like
It, it,
it's like if they somehow got a sample of whatever's down there and brought it to the surface, it'd be a little more believable. But no, they just read it, told people on the surface, and that's it.
yeah, it's dumb. I found that to be one of the defining dumbest moments of that movie. And I mean, this movie had a bunch of pretty dumb moments. Anything with the Stranger Things girl I felt was dumb. That's just my personal opinion on that. I just didn't like her in this movie. I felt that she brought nothing to the movie. And I really felt that if they left out her plot, it wouldn't affect how the movie moved along. All the other human plots move the story along in some way, shape, or form. You had the plot with with the organization. Their plot was there to build up Mechagodzilla. You have the plot with the ones moving Kong because they needed Kong to get to Hollow Earth. You had the plot with the military being the military because they have to be dumb. So, and then you just have this part with her, and it's just like you didn't need her to give the exposition as to why they're building Mechagodzilla or what they found. There were easier ways to do that and not have her plot being there at all. And I felt that that really just was like a waste of like half hour of a movie that could have been cut or done with something else. Like I would love that was converted into more kaiju fights.
True.
Hmm.
So that's my personal thing. And I understand the reason why she's in there is because contracts. At this point, most of the humans are in there because of contracts. It's not even to say like they have a reason to be there anymore. It's like, no. Do y'all affect in any way, shape, or form how the fights happen? Not really. Because Godzilla still whooped Kong's ass technically 2 of the 3 times. I say all three, but whatever.
Now, what was weird? Lance Reddick, who, if you play a lot of video games or seen John Wick or actually a lot of movies, you would have think you know who he is. He was in the movie for like 3 seconds. It's like
You mean like
why?
well, I mean,
Like
to be
just why?
fair, this franchise has a history of doing that. They did the same thing to oh my god, what's the
Bryan
guy's
Cranston.
name? Bryan Cranston. They did the same thing to
Hmm.
him. 15 minutes and he was dead. And then, oh
And
god, I will say this: one of the biggest insults this movie did to the human characters was just completely destroy Ken Watanabe's son's plot in this movie.
that was his son.
Yes, the guy who was piloting the kaiju. That was the scientist's son from the previous movies, the one who went down and blew up the nuke. That's his son.
Wait. When did they say that was his son?
Yeah, that was his son. If you go back, like look at his name in the credit in the credits. Oh, in terms of what his character name is, it's the same. It's the same name as the other guys. They're
Would
father
make
and son.
sense that they're related.
Yeah, but it's just dumb how they use them like that. It's like you just completely shattered everything your father believed in just to make a Mecha Godzilla.
They never even mentioned. Okay, the guy never mentioned his son. The son never mentioned his father. No one mentioned anything.
Yeah, no, it's the movie just has a lot of dumb things in it, and like I said, this movie did not need the human plot because the human plot was dumb. The kaiju action is what saved the movie, and I will say that that's the main reason that I came there. And to be fair, will we? Which one would we rather go back and watch again, this movie or the 2016 one?
This one.
This one, clearly.
Because the kaiju action is what brought us in. So that's why I have to say I can't give it a lower score than the 2016 one because the kaiju action was there.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fine.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we come to get entertained. No matter how stupid the plot is, we still came to get entertained. Did we walk out entertained? I say yes.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
So the movie did what it was supposed to do. And not to mention, technically, Toei, is it Toei or is it Toku? Whatever the company that owns it in Japan, to be fair, they some of their plots are almost as dumb as this as well.
Yeah. Oh,
And
no, they're super wacky.
so you know what? I'm willing to give it a pass in terms of the plot. As long as you give me the good action with it, I'm fine with that. But my problem is that don't try to set this up as a very realistic take on Godzilla from the first movie onwards to then go completely wacky in this movie because then the tone doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. It's like do you know what this reminds me of? Like what they did with Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim, the first movie, was a bit more of a serious take and stuff like that on it, where they had some good action and all that other stuff. And then Pacific Rim 2 just jumped off a deep end. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it was weird. It was.
I
So
never
fucking
saw
weird.
it, so I'm good with not knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
Watch,
So that
watch the first one, then stop.
I saw the
Yeah.
first one.
You did. Okay, good.
We saw it in the theater, dude.
I will say the one thing I did love with Pacific Rim for the first one was that they did a really good job of articulating weight.
Right.
Like you could feel like the actual mechs themselves felt the weight to them, and this movie as well had the feeling of weight also, where you can tell that except for that carrier scene, which we all know in real life, if Kong or Godzilla jumps out, that carrier was sinking and destroyed. There's no way in hell a carrier could support their weights.
Yeah, but they didn't really fight on the carrier. It's just that Kong was on one.
Kong was on top of the carrier, and then
Yeah.
Godzilla started scrambling on top of it, where at least half its body was on the carrier itself.
Yeah, but it capsized.
Not immediately.
Not immediately, like literally, that thing should have broken in half when Godzilla started getting on, because Godzilla is ideally heavier than Kong. It is.
Yeah. Godzilla's a thick boy.
Yes, he's a thick boy.
Okay, so I guess my question is, for future Godzilla movies, well, besides the primal versions of the kaiju, what would you want to see?
Okay, for future Godzilla movies, I do expect there to be a Godzilla v Humanity movie where humans find a way of breeding like the Mutos, and then just like controlling like a whole species of Mutos or something like that. Where we had the Queen Muto, we have a much more modified version because humanity is well known for like gene splice and all that other crap. And so like you said, they splice genes of other kaiju DNA they've gotten. And so they've created their own brand of creatures that they can control. They more or less learned the lesson from Godzilla vs. Kong that humanity does need something to protect themselves, but building a Mechagodzilla was not the right way because they basically used a very powerful kaiju. They're better off using a kaiju that has like a hive mind, like the Muto, where the queen one technically controls the others, and do something more like that where they can control a whole bunch of these things to then now go and fight anytime a kaiju appears. And so you see like the Muto, those specific Mutos which are modified and more powerful than the regular versions, working with humans to kill and defeat stuff. And then Godzilla's like, I ain't having none of this.
And then Godzilla's like, I gotta put a team together.
No, he wouldn't even put a team together. He would literally be like, I ain't having none of this. And the main reason that he would fight humanity is because the humans who are doing this decide, well, here's what. We remember in King of the Monsters that Mothra's genes can power up kaiju. let's try to take that Mothra egg and use it for our benefit. And that will also bring the reason why Godzilla comes in. It's like you in touching this Mothra.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that.
Those
Because I
are.
mean, sorry, just one more thing. If they really want to bring humans into this plot line that badly, I feel they need to do something like that to actually make humans a credible threat.
Right. And honestly, like I was liking the idea of the kaiju like teaming up in this movie, and then but then the next movie you're thinking happen where like okay yeah the monsters actually teamed up. Now we really need someone to like really protect us.
The
Jaguar, can it do it? And everyone's like, no, no, it can't.
oh gosh, the only other one I could think of is if Rodan pulls a Starscream.
Or just betrays everyone.
Betrays everyone because that's how Rodan is. Rodan only follows who he believes. If Rodan finds a way to get an advantage, he would. So if it involves Rodan sneaking into Hollow Earth and getting himself a power up that way to come back and screw everyone over, I'm okay with that.
You're being insane. Like, wait, the big bad Rodan? Not like it's like not Space Godzilla. Rodan.
Yeah, no, it'd be pretty funny because it's like, because since no one knew how to get to Hollow Earth, and now there's a gigantic hole in Hong Kong that anyone can get in. What easier way to get through the hole than a flying monster?
True.
But it would be more of a twist, so to speak.
It would be, but I mean, I can. It'll be like you see Godzilla's like, "Damn you, Starscream! I mean, Rodan."
That'd be pretty awesome.
I'm sorry, no, you should never trust Rodan. The moment Rodan switched sides and was following the other one, Godzilla should have just killed him. Don't even let Rodan say I'm serving you. Nope, kill it right in the bud. You don't trust the type of kaiju that will betray you in a moment's notice if they get power.
Oh, yeah, and as for like main villains, let's see. Because I'm trying to see, there's like, I mean, Space Godzilla is one. Destroyer could be another because it killed Godzilla's son back in the day. And okay, well with this movie, I'm gonna assume that they have no chance of ever bringing in Mecha King Ghidorah.
Yeah, no,
I think
no.
by now that'd be kind of insane. Like, and I'm a Ghidorah fan, and I'll say, yeah, that would be too much.
They had the option to, and they used it to make Mecha Godzilla. That's
Yes.
that's where it failed. Like, because we knew that there was a Ghidorah head that they managed to recover. That's what they should have used to make Mecha King Ghidorah, but they chose to use its skull. Oh man, so dumb.
Honestly, it's both, and I'm fine with it
No, you know
because
what
it was
I
pretty
would have
cool.
been fine with if they for the Mechagodzilla one instead of it being like since they already mentioned that there was another Godzilla type in the past. If you mean to tell me that you all found that the original body of that previous one and then use that one skull for this crap for Mechagodzilla, I'll be more okay with that.
Unless there's another Ghidorah on its way
Nah,
No.
from space.
let's not.
What? Okay. Actually, like the only thing that would like be a question is like the planet that Ghidorah must have come from. What's happening there?
They probably destroyed it. It's Ghidorah. Ghidorah is that type of species that goes in, destroys something, then moves on. That's just how Ghidorah is.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. It's like if I don't see it, then we're not really sure.
I mean, their options. I really say the biggest options they would have is to have something from Hollow Earth be a threat, which is one main option they can do. The other one would be from space, as we stated. It can possibly be that aliens will basically out there and then once Godzilla fired its gigantic atomic breath into space, the aliens decided that that Earth that planet's become a credible threat. Let's send something to destroy it.
I was like, there are so many options, but there aren't a lot of options that fans would be like, oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, yeah, because unfortunately you've made Godzilla. Well, you've basically wrecked the best choice as a next villain, and then you've made Godzilla overpowered already, because now he has like he literally can fire his atomic breath so often. It's like, then what's the threat anymore?
That's
Anybody that
true.
can block that with atomic breath,
Yeah,
honestly.
they could block one, and then suddenly fires a second one, and a third one, and a fourth one. And you're like, how are you firing so much atomic breath, Godzilla?
He has so much mana.
My gosh.
Oh my
So much
god.
mana.
It's a plot it's something they've written themselves a hole into. It's like, I can understand if he got this power when he got powered up temporarily, because that's when he got his heat mode, he was extra powerful. But in base form, I don't expect him to be like, I can just keep shooting beams or fire beams strong enough to make a hole and still be strong enough to then fight Kong easily, and then fight Mechagodzilla and still fire more beams. Because it's like, there was no time in between any of them. It was hole in the ground, then Kong, then Mechagodzilla, then Kong kind of again, back to back to back to back, with no rest in between.
Yeah. Godzilla's OP now.
Yes.
Well,
I
there
mean, to
was
be
an
fair.
oxygen destroyer from King of the Monsters.
Well, no. In King of the Monsters, he got his ass whooped a lot. Like, Ghidorah was a literal credible threat that whooped his ass a few times. The fact that he couldn't fly was one of the biggest ways that Ghidorah took advantage of him. And then when he killed Ghidorah and got that power up, no other creature of them were anywhere near powerful, because he was just like, I'm the king, and all of them was like, yes, master.
So the humans had to build one.
And then the human built one sucked.
But next
And they
movie,
were
I'll
already-
try it again.
Oh,
They were
gosh.
already building Mechagodzilla during that movie. During King of the Monsters.
They must have.
Yeah, no, they were already in the midst of building it.
Well, they didn't say anything in King of the Monsters, but they must have to build all the stuff around it.
Also, can we talk about how this movie had no relevance of Monarch? Like, you try to make Monarch this organization in the previous two movies, and then suddenly it's like, yeah, well, what's a Monarch?
It's
We
all
are
about Apex now.
We're a peaceful organization. We do relief efforts for monster attacks. That's
Oh, in real life, no one doing that, because the amount of money that you would have to invest for relief effort for monster attacks, hell no. Because they're literally walk-in natural disasters. Like, a fight from one of them can wipe out entire cities, if not entire states. For you to have the money to provide relief for that, yeah, no.
As seen in this movie.
Yep.
Hong Kong and Pensacola, Florida are both radioactive sites now.
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, Hong Kong is even worse, because since it has a connection to Hollow Earth now, God knows what can come from there into Hong Kong.
Right. Like those annoying little chicken birds.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You mean the vultures? I like to call them. They're literally the vultures of the Godzilla
Yeah.
universe.
The naked chicken vultures, whatever. They just fly down, eat stuff. So they can totally fly through the hole, and there are pterodons down there, or I guess.
They have the snake ones, as you said. Those things that could come up also.
Right. And those things that Kong slammed around and ate the brains of.
Yep.
So
basically, there are a lot of threats that can come from Hollow Earth now, which, yeah, that's going to be fun for them to explore. And Hong Kong is now the epicenter.
Thanks, Godzilla. You jerk.
No, don't thank Godzilla. Thank Kong. Because if Kong didn't put that thing down, Godzilla would have never known where to shoot.
First of all, Godzilla was acting like a bully the whole movie. Like I said earlier, he's been a bully.
He's only been a bully because he kept detecting Ghidorah. That's the only reason he was a bully.
Yeah.
Still, Kong didn't do anything to him, and Godzilla was like, all right, let's go and start bothering him.
That's natural territory fights. That's like Monster Hunter World tier of territory fights. That's literally what it is.
Well,
Godzilla was like, you came in my territory, the ocean, let's fight.
See, Dude didn't even do anything. He was chained up.
Well, yeah, Kong wasn't. Let's not even talk about that. I understand when they try to humanize Kong, but I could never consider Kong a protagonist.
Of course, the protagonist. He had a tiny child to protect. A tiny deaf child.
But Godzilla had the Earth to protect. Which one's more important?
The tiny
Hong
child,
Kong is the new
obviously.
Australia.
Oh yes, yes. The joke is that in a lot of Japanese stuff, Australia is usually the place to get wrecked.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I remember all the way back in like Gundam, where Australia was where a colony dropped and all these other things. Yeah, I can see that Hong Kong's the new Australia. And I think China paid for that to just say that's why Hong Kong should be under us.
And not just that. Australia has a ton of dangerous creatures.
Yes,
so
man.
Basically, all of the titans or kaiju or whatever you want to call them crawling out of that hole to Middle Earth, Hollow Earth, whatever the heck it's called. They just...
Oh, I would laugh if it was actually Middle Earth. You see suddenly Godzilla looks down and he sees a Balrog, and now Gandalf was like, "You shall not pass." Atomic breath.
Peter Jackson, make it happen.
Oh, suddenly you see Godzilla gets like a toenail ring. It's the one ring.
Oh god.
And now he's invisible.
Not only that, he's corrupted because the one ring corrupts you when you wear it too often.
God. Nope. That's it. Podcast over.
You see Sauron look at Godzilla, and Sauron's like, "Oh God, I fucked up. No, something this powerful should not have my ring. Get it off."
Oh, actually, that reminds me. In the old movies, they actually had the primal Godzilla was something called Godzillasaurus. Not sure if they would want to like make that into a movie.
Here's what: if they're accepting the wackiness of Godzilla now, I need to see Godzilla fly.
I want to see Hero Zero.
Either Godzilla fly or Godzilla drop kick. I need one of those two.
Y'all can have all of that. I just want a Gamera movie. That's all I want. I want my giant space turtle. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of any the only franchise I could think that it could possibly cross over. That's a Western franchise as well. Would be Cloverfield.
Oh God.
And Godzilla versus the Cloverfield monster in New York.
I don't think that the Cloverfield monster would be much of a match for Godzilla.
It won't. But one of the things that Cloverfield monster is pretty well with is that it has many small things of it that can go out and also kill stuff.
Which would make the humans relevant. Okay.
But I mean, aside from that, if we think about current movies, movie climates, is there any other monster-style creature that that's big enough or strong enough to even fight Godzilla in other Western mediums?
Honestly, if we can somehow forget that Pacific Rim 2 ever happened, then yeah, the Jaegers.
I mean, I would actually. You know what would be funny about that? Godzilla would have probably ended that threat a while ago. He'll have swam down to where the things were coming from, this atomic breath, that teleportation, that wormhole that was connecting the two areas. It's like, atomic breath straight through the wormhole. That would have killed all the aliens instantly.
It's true.
That probably worked. Yeah.
Like literally, that was Godzilla's home field advantage underwater. Oh, yep, you're all screwed.
In fact, let me see. I'm going to pull up the wiki. So, is there anything that would be a credible threat?
Different thing? No, probably not.
Let's see. Anguirus, Snowman,
Transformers
Rodan,
is a possibility. Especially if you consider like Unicron level of Transformers. That's a possibility.
Unicron is a planet, though.
Yeah, that'd be the best battle for Godzilla. Fighting a planet.
Nah, Godzilla Earth versus Unicron.
I mean, in terms of like the regular Transformers, Godzilla versus Grimjaw or Grimlock, whatever the hell the Dinobot one is called.
Grimlock.
Grimlock, yeah, there you go. Godzilla versus Grimlock. Chuck
Megalon.
Chuck Norris doesn't count because he instantly wins everything.
Chuck Norris is old now.
Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Chuck Norris isn't old. We are just young.
That's true, but he's also old. That doesn't negate anything.
Don't worry about it. Chuck Norris will just like one day wash his face and all the oil will just fall right off.
Oof.
Okay, I would ask this question, but actually, I need to do research myself. Like, who would win in a fight, Destroyer or Space Godzilla?
I
'Cause
don't know enough about Destroyer to be able to answer that, so I won't answer.
I don't know.
I would honestly like. I need to look into this. Like, this is important. Like, this is the information that matters. Anyway, Masked Danger.
What is that?
It's another kaiju monster. The way he's not even saying where. It's apparently enemies of Godzilla, but friends with King Ghidorah.
Okay, well there you go. It's like Ghidorah died twice. Now it's out for revenge.
But it's about a friend named the Masked Danger. Ultraman.
We're not getting Ultraman. Let's not even assume that would even come into Western audiences. Ultraman is too out there for them to even consider adapting that.
Okay, so I guess Jet Jaguar, but like kind of like Ultraman. Like,
Yeah, no.
It's like a weird reference. Like, honestly, I just want to see Hero Zero happen. It's utterly stupid, but I want to see it happen.
Unfortunately, the Western audiences would not accept certain things. Like Ultraman is not something the West has grown up with in any way, shape, or form. So they won't really care or understand Ultraman that much, except for the few people over here who's actually watched Ultraman.
I never watched it.
Like I said, so very few. It would have to be something, I don't know. Virtual World Godzilla. Someone put Godzilla in VR. Ready Player 2 featuring Godzilla.
No.
Which reminds me, Ready Player 2 is a horrible book. Don't read it.
Ready Player 1 was not a good movie.
It was okay. That's the best I can give it.
It had like how many different references, but then it had like a full 30-minute reference to The Shining. And it's like, move on to something else, please. It's like we get it. Stop.
Oh gosh.
Anyway. And let's see. Chase Reptilian. Rowan North King Chasma Methuselah. Hold up.
All right, nope, that's it. We're done. Like for real done.
It's like this list is insane. Oh yeah, I think this is including stuff that's like outside of Toho.
At the end of the day, let's just say it this way. They will most likely create original enemies from now on, aside from some of the very unique ones that Godzilla would fight, like how they created the Mutos for the first movie. That's probably what we would start seeing as more villains for the future ones, because some of those other ones that Japan has are too outlandish to really work.
Right.
And
you got giant lizard, you got giant monkey. The next thing we know is, well, I mean, Befalment. That's not even a battle. Cthulhu wins. It's not even a battle.
Yeah, you're talking about big lizard versus a god.
Yeah, that's never good. That Godzilla loses that. There's no way, no version of Godzilla could fight Cthulhu. The only way possible is if Godzilla somehow puts Cthulhu to sleep, and that's how he stops everything from getting destroyed. That's the only possible way Godzilla can win that. And even then, the madness of being in Cthulhu's presence will probably make Godzilla go completely stark raving mad and destroy everything.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be like back to square one? Like, oh yeah, we gotta stop Godzilla from killing everything.
Well, here's the difference though. This insane Godzilla will have no care of its own health. So it will literally probably keep shooting and shooting and shooting until it blows up.
Yep. And also, not to mention, if Cthulhu gets close to anybody, they're also screwed too.
Yeah. So, and then that doesn't include the fact that Godzilla will also be corrupted from Cthulhu's presence. So you might see some tendrils and stuff coming out of Godzilla as well, because Cthulhu corrupts. So yeah, that's not a that's not a battle that anything can win.
Well, on the plus side, it can give us an excuse to call up all the human characters.
What human characters? They will lose even faster than Godzilla.
Except Millie Bobby Brown. She would be like the
only one
Cthulhu
immune to
hype man.
Cthulhu.
No, the hype man, the Cthulhu hype man. Like, yes, come on, you gotta get in on this. Like,
Cthulhu's my friend.
Oh gosh, so
we gotta save him.
She becomes the Eric Cartman of this movie.
Oh god.
She would basically say Cthulhu wouldn't do something like this unless it was provoked.
Oh my god!
Like,
but what Cthulhu?
It's the provoker. It provokes.
I mean, the closest I can see to this, if they want to bring in mythos of Lovecraft, will probably be something like Dagon, or one of the very weaker creatures from it that although does a lot of destruction, can at least be fightable. Right. But I mean, not Cthulhu itself. That is an impossible battle. That's like you telling me that an ant has to fight Superman.
Maybe it's a Kryptonian ant. You don't know.
The ant is made out of kryptonite, pink kryptonite.
No, that just made Superman gay. Doesn't mean that it stops him from killing the ant.
For anybody who doesn't understand the reference, pink kryptonite makes Kryptonians, including Superman, gay. This is in the comics, and we're not making this up. This is actually a real thing.
I'm honestly surprised no one has used it on Supergirl.
I think we actually asked, like, what would happen if Supergirl got it? Like, would she be gay, or would she be like?
Wait. I'm wrong. They did use it on Supergirl. That's the CW Supergirl.
Really? What happened?
No, you remember in the CW, the Supergirl is a lesbian.
Is she?
Yeah, she liked that girl. Did she like that? Oh, I might mix up with Batwoman.
Oh, Batwoman's gay. Supergirl is straight.
I could have sworn she was gay in the CW version. Am I mistaken?
Nope, she was dating Daxamite guy.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It's Batwoman and it's also White Canary.
Right, and also what's her
Sarah.
Name? Yeah. And Supergirl's sister.
There we go. Supergirl's sister, who was my mistake. I keep thinking with Supergirl herself. Yes, you're right. So yeah.
She bangs White Canary and it has that, like, that weird
after walk of shame thing.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: White Canary bangs a lot of people in her Legends of Tomorrow series. She bangs a lot of people.
Oh yeah, no. She smashes her way through history.
She does.
And and it's usually women, but there was that one time with Constantine.
Oh, not just Constantine. She also was with Oliver. So
yes, well, I mean that was the beginning of that was the beginning of Arrow. She was sleeping.
That was the beginning of everything.
I feel like she's pretty bisexual, so she does whatever she wants. She just leans more toward women.
Yeah, she does.
And we thank her for it. But anyway,
I think we should wind down now.
Yeah. Oh, I have to leave in 15 minutes anyway, so.
Okay, let's wind down.
Okay, because honestly, I can't think of any other monsters besides the one that we've already mentioned that would actually be like a credible threat to Godzilla, considering all that it can do.
Superman versus Godzilla.
Superman would win.
Of course he would. He would fly through Godzilla's heart and kill him. Boom.
He doesn't even need to. He would just beam him from space. It would literally be I-beams versus atomic breath.
He would snap his neck and cry about it.
I don't know if he can get his hands around the neck to snap it, but he'll try.
He would fly into Godzilla's face so hard that it snaps his neck, and then he would have a big old cry about it.
Oh gosh, but anyway, so there's really not any other right now anything else I can think of realistically that Godzilla can fight. They exhausted the two best ones, Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla, and at least one of the two of them was actually good.
Yeah, and I mean they could use Destroyer and Space Godzilla later, and after that, I'll look at the list, but I don't think I'll find anything that would be like, oh yeah, I would watch a movie about this, like a whole movie.
It will literally have to be a movie about Godzuki if they want a D power level Godzilla.
I would watch it though because I like
Godzuki,
Godzuki.
Godzuki versus a Mega Garrus, the beetle one.
It'd be like, we haven't seen Godzilla in ages. Godzilla's entered the hibernation cycle, but there is an egg that has just hatched. It's Godzuki. It is now becoming learning to be the savior that humanity needs to protect themselves against the kaiju who are no longer bound to Godzilla.
And it's a good thing too because something's coming, and it's Rainbow Mothra.
There's
It's coming
something
to kill us all.
strange in the neighborhood. Who are you gonna call?
Now you got Bustin' stuck in my head.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
That's it. We're ending. Everybody, thank you for coming and listening to us. We appreciate your participation. And even if you weren't participating, we appreciate you too. If you like to give King Crazy Mofo a follow, I will shout him out right now because he's a great co-host and he's got mad ideas in his head and he's kind of crazy. Hence
He's
the name.
crazy.
Oh, and also thank you, Ray Parker Jr. for the Ghostbusters theme.
Thank you, Bran. You are a saint. So follow him. Dracon2K does not stream, but hopefully he'll like to become a regular member of this podcast because
He's quite good at it, honestly.
and I'm getting some reports that they like you, so you should probably come chill with us more, man.
Yeah,
You're like the Green Ranger.
No.
I'm not
He's not jumping in our mech and beating us up and throwing us out. No.
Okay, I'll say this. I'm nowhere near that good. I mean, that means I would inspire generations of Rangers. I ain't that good.
But yeah. Next week, maybe we can talk about the Mortal Kombat movies.
That's right. That is coming out. I forgot.
Yeah. So if you guys want to, we can do that.
Okay. Will it be just the movies, or will it be everything Mortal Kombat?
Movies
I'll
first.
Leave that up to your discretion. Yeah, we can talk about the movies first, and then maybe we can jump into the games if that's what you guys prefer.
Understood. So my homework is to watch the Mortal Kombat movie coming out this week. Okay.
Right. I was planning to do that anyway. And honestly, the first movie, that's one thing. But Mortal Kombat Armageddon, oh my god.
Oh, the game. Wait, no, that's the movie, right?
I thought the movie was Annihilation.
Annihilation.
Oh, sorry,
Annihilation.
Sorry, Annihilation.
Okay.
Either way,
no, don't talk about it yet. Save that for the podcast next week.
Oh, I will. I'll have plenty to say about that.
Oh, so will I. It's probably going to be a longer podcast, to be honest. Maybe, but
Thank you, Scrubbing Soap Bubbles.
Thanks, Soap. I appreciate you. What I'm gonna do now is raid out, and since we were talking about kaiju and Mothra at some points, I'm gonna raid Luna Mothwings because why not? I couldn't find anybody named Godzilla.
It'd be weird if you did.
30 stories high, 3 feet higher, his name in the sky.
Godzilla.
There we go.
Godzilla.
There we go.
Godzuki.
And now we can end the stream.
Oh, God.
Okay. So thanks everybody for showing up. We're going in.
We're going in hot.
Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
What? I wasn't gonna do anything.
I don't know this person very well, so don't embarrass me.
Okay, no problem. We won't give them your nickname that we had on your Fall Guys stream,
bro. Bye, everyone.
It's one of many nicknames. Some are worse than the last. Okay.
It's okay. I've already rated in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end this broadcast.
Cool.
Yeah.